Welcome back, everybody, to another night of College CoD as we dive deeper into the conference finals on our way to the postseason. My name is Seymour. With me is Proper and Andy. We just had a weekend of a lot of Call of Duty to watch. So much Call of Duty. And now we get the weekday, and it's even more Call of Duty. Doesn't get better than this.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, I always talk about how this is like the peak of the Call of Duty season. Like, you got the CDL throughout the weekends. Challengers is happening Wednesday and Thursdays with the elites, but most importantly, Mondays and Tuesdays are always dedicated to College CoD. To your point, a lot of individuals flying back from Birmingham, though these guys still hanging out in California. It's going to be a good one, man.
The West Coast, some say it's the best coast. For Cal Poly Pomona Broncos, I would say it's been a pretty impressive year for them. Number 9 in the top 25. They've been undefeated so far in their conference, and now they get to take on a team that they are going to feel very confident to match up against, the SJSU Spartans Blue, a squad who, when Cal Poly Pomona Broncos, that is going to be a mouthful, went up against them, it was a hot 3-0 sweep, Andy. And when we take a look at the head-to-head between these two teams, I think we can dive a little bit deeper into what to expect for them on the year.
Yep, absolutely. I think the one glaring thing that does stick out is that the Broncos do have one at least tarnished bit to their entire season record. It's a den search and destroy loss that they ended up losing, 3-6 to Washington State, the Cougars. It's the only time that they played it. It was either vetoed or not picked otherwise. We'll get more into that later on. Though a little bit more of a colorful side would end up being the San Jose State University Spartans. You can see that they do have 2 losses. One was a forfeited loss to the Lobes of Grand Canyon, and the other one was the aforementioned 0-3 loss to California Poly Pomona, the Broncos. And it wasn't really a super competitive 3-0. The Den overload, you might be able to make an argument for. The Den hardpoint, they got, I wouldn't say obliterated on, but about a 100-point difference. And then the raid search and destroy. But the one thing that jumps off the page to me here, Colin, is that SJSU, the Spartans, the one record that is more tarnished than anything is search and destroy. Yeah. That's not exactly something you want going into such a prestigious matchup like this for the Western Pacific Conference Championship.
No, it's something that you hope, from the end of the regular season to now, the Spartans have put a little bit of work into going into a match like this. I want to see the Spartans show improvement. I mean, this is a team that you definitely can look at going into not only the regional playoffs, but hopefully the CCL postseason to make a couple upsets against teams that are similar in their skill level from this season. So I want to see this team make some strides. And when we look towards the series itself, just as a reminder for everybody, this conference final, just like every other conference final, is going to be a best of 7. So we got a lot of maps to look at, a lot of information and data to break down between Andy and I. And we're going to kick things off with the Blackheart hardpoint. We get the Den S&D, Den Overload, and Exposure hardpoint guaranteed in this series. And if the Spartans Blue can push the Broncos further, it's going to be Raid Search and Destroy, Scar Overload, and Colossus Search and Destroy to round out the entire best of 7. Andy, I think when I was looking at this, and I was kind of looking at the different head-to-heads for each map, the Broncos were very kind in where to take the Spartans. I think that this is going to be the best-case scenario for Spartans Blue.
Yeah, I mean, kind is certainly a phrase to use, but even more so, like, the Spartans did choose the bet to be made, and now they got to lay in it, right? Because, I mean, like, the 3 maps that they lost, the Cal Poly Pomona, like, they're in this best of 5 series earlier rather than later. Like, there's a possibility we don't even see the Raid Search and Destroy as a reprise from the regular season matchup because the Den Search and the Den Overload is in there. And again, all eyes on the Search and Destroy, but you really got to tip your cap as far as the Blackheart hardpoint is concerned, given the fact that it's just a really good warm-up map. You get your gunnies warm, get your rotations, your communication all needs to be on point. You've all played in rank mode. It's the rank mode simulator, for crying out loud. So I think that's just one of those things that you're definitely at least blessed to see it if you are the Spartans, but you haven't played it all year long, whether it was picked or vetoed or not. We haven't seen them play on it as a whole. As this best of 7 continues on, it's a lot more question marks given the flawless stature that is Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. Besides the Den Search and Destroy is the only map that they have lost all regular season long. So if there was one side of the Spartans to raise their sword to, it's probably looking at that map too. But I can't really buy into it given the fact that Search and Destroy has just been so lackluster for them all year.
Yeah, like we were kind of mentioning earlier, I was kind of talking about it. It's like, I hope they've been doing work because the fact that Den is map number 2, that's something that they can really jump into and hopefully expose some weaknesses for the Broncos to extend this series in a best-of-7. But yeah, the black card, I mean, I think the best fact of this weekend is that we didn't see a single black card hardpoint at Major 2. Like, that was kind of crazy. But
strange, honestly.
yeah, whole map just non-existent. I think that says a lot about Blackheart, in my opinion. But no, I think that this is going to be exciting. I mean, we get that den overload. I think that one thing's for certain in this best-of-7 is that there's not going to be a lack of action across these maps. Very high engagement maps, even for the first 4 that we do have, Andy. So for Blackheart Hardpoint, I'm excited to see the Spartans go to this map. Is this something that, you know, they've been hiding from us? Is it something that they've been maybe working on going into the postseason? Who knows? A lot's really going to determine this series from the way that I look at the Spartans play this Blackheart Hardpoint.
Absolutely. Got to be seeing some gunnies getting hot. If I'm being honest, this is actually going to be my first time live looking into the San Jose State University Spartans. I've seen California State Polytechnic University Pomona. We don't have to say the entire thing. It's just really fun for me. To be able to play, have been able to see what Rue Selviz has been able to offer. Same thing for Jams, but let's get it on, shall we? It is the Conference Championships, the Western Pacific one. We can only think about what is in store for us next weekend when we talk about regional playoffs. But for now, we got to look into this map number 1.
Yes, you do. Broncos in first, and the Spartans going to battle their way back. Like to see that from SJSU. Into the hill, they got the better spawns. Let's see if they can work on this one with the last 20 seconds of P1. And Penton already holding down that wall bounce. It's going to be the Broncos flooding into the main. A couple kills go their way. 4-10 in the feed, and now they're pressuring the spawns.
Big kill coming through from Pent, so he's going to be able to at least anchor down the immediate rotation. Rue's the first to touch it. Though a good spray, at least thus far, and this is exactly what you want out of SJSU Spartans, right? This is what I talked about. Get your gunnies hot, but even better, the communication. Aurora's looking to get lost here over by Long. They lost at least a 1 for Pent. He pushed up all the way over by Dub, so that's going to leave this anchor pinch for the spawns.
Jam's going to be back here. Broncos trying to play this one from the back, but they're losing a ton of time, and they need to go. Aurora, double kill in the front line. There you go. Spartans are in, and they're going to stay here. Just one more player to deal with. Selvis goes down. 30 seconds, so you imagine the Broncos are going to do it again, Andy, but this is not how I expected the Blackheart to go.
Are you really going to decide now? I mean, about 5 seconds ago, you should just try to at least hit this, throw your bodies towards it, because now you're just losing more and more time. Aurora's up 4 in a row. 1 shot, dead. Rue don't miss. He's able to clean up 2. So fighting for the back 10 seconds will be good, but you got north to south spawns. Jams is already here playing by square, cuts down the first, but they got burn spawns all the way in towards the back. They're not reading this.
Oh, Burn with the double kill. That's going to get the team in. And the back spawns blocked, Andy. This is your job right there. You like to see it. The lockdown of the back spawns from Burn, and everybody from Broncos now going to be fighting through the left side of the mini-map. Aurora cutting off the players from mid. Burn goes down, so that's going to anchor out those spawns for the Broncos and block out the Spartans for the hopeful break that the Broncos can get a little bit of time off this.
Now look at the Spartans play for the back spawn, so just trying to overwhelm the numbers in towards the back. It allows reinforcements to push back through from the gas tank and just start to flood their numbers forward. There's still ample time left to fight over here, and they're picking up square. That's where the one flank's gonna be coming from. It's Selvis. He reads the Creddy corner, but by the time he even gets here, we're down to 15 seconds. It's a 1v2 play, and although you got split spawns coming through, this back 10 seconds will only garner you just about a 30-point deficit, but wonderfully done so far for SJSU. Now they have to try to turn this into what is a mixy potential of scrap from initial. The Broncos, though, on the other side, will be putting themselves at the front of the hill first, and they break through the back of the spawns.
Hey, Andy, for a map that only has a handful of spawns, the fundamentals that Broncos are losing out on is quite incredible for this Blackheart. The Spartans are playing this near perfect in every sort of way, and that's just because Aurora has so much freedom to continue to slay out. 18 and 9 for his squad at 2 KD going into the fourth hard point. 30 seconds still to fight for. The Broncos desperately need a good break. Jams and Rue gonna put together 3 kills. Aurora the last one up, and he's gonna try to do a little bit of damage, but I don't think this 20 seconds is gonna be anything that you can look at. But Burn spawns in the back, and there's no way Rue realizes that.
No, there's no way that you read that. I mean, those back spawns are super sticky unless you have a player all the way to the backside of Crane. You're forcing north to south spawns at the very best, but the manipulation on the map as a whole out of San Jose, man, like this is looking absolutely diabolical. Fierce P4, they've gotten the majority of time off of every single hill thus far. They got themselves that 50-point lead, and they're starting to make the right maneuvers forward to try to play for these back spots again with the backside of 5, though. A little easier said than done, given that Burns the only player over here. Buys time for Fonz to push over by Square, catching a lot of players by surprise, and now the Broncos are fear for their life in their spawns.
Shots from Aurora, not really going to connect. Pence on the cross. He's trying to help out for a break back in, and might not be the greatest start to a game for a player, but Pence is in for the time. And he is hoping to help out growing this lead for the second set of rotation. Spawns in the back, but Broncos just continue to lose every single gunfight. The Spartans have made some considerable changes, it seems, going into the postseason, and this is really impressive.
I mean, it's the most insane part of all this, Colin. Don't forget, we have not seen San Jose State University play on a black card.
No.
Maybe we know why. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities behind it. Pent, previously, he's on that 4 spree. He was like the only one not finding slays. Probably the majority because Aurora was taking them all. 22 and 14. To say he slowed down would be a little bit of a ha-ha moment. But, I mean, the Broncos are getting slapped in the face. Whether they just got back from classes or work, whatever it may be, these boys got to wake up fast because they're getting absolutely dismantled.
Well, with the lead just continue to grow, Andy, let's hop in with a listen in for the Spartans to see how they sound.
Outer. Get outer.
I'm up there.
Get block. That's him. I'm up front.
Silver's outer.
Knitting your front.
Silver's still outer.
I got one, boys. Look at your front, guys. Look at your front. Outer dead. Dude.
Nice, I'm hitting time.
Hey, get the guys back. I spawn out, boys. Fucking finesse.
He's more in the back. He's in the back.
Yo, in the back, weak, Selvins. Enru, two there.
Cool.
Get that ult. I'm dead. Nice, Selvins is there, Selvins in the back. I one shot, I'm playing life.
I'm a streak, by the way.
I hear you, center. Let's color, ready? Color.
It's along.
Get right.
Long James.
I'm dead, play life.
That's nice.
James long, I'm one shot. Nice, I need help with the flame life.
One thing.
In the back, watch out. Nice, one more. I can kill him. Nice, boys! They're gonna go left. I'm gonna go left. I need some left. We'll keep it.
I think the most important thing from that break, Andy, is how patient they were fighting for the front side. Everybody waited, played for old. You even heard it. Hey, guys, let's play for old time, wait, and then break together. It was perfect.
I think what's even more impressive, too, is, like, how they're playing. The superheroes even need help sometimes. Like, you hear them communicating, like, we need help for the play for the kill and towards the back. It gives us these spawns, and now they're at 2 centuries, about 130-point lead. The Broncos from Pomona just trying to fight for the scrap time, and even before they can think about it, the Spartans still have those back crane spawns. I mean, pick and choose how you want to win this one as Fonz, Burn, everybody putting each other on skates. You can play for every bit of scrap going forward. The slightest little break will win you the game.
Yeah, you just saw Penn. He might have started this game off 2-9, but he's got a Hellstorm. And it made it in the hill. It sounds like that Hellstorm is going to get called in right away for this P3 break. Spawns in the back for Aurora. Everybody's going to be here for the Spartans to follow up the score streak. So can you put this one away? Can you call game? The bend over. It doesn't catch anything, but it gets you in the hill.
And it confirms all the information. They're trapped inside of Dubs. Where Pent was located at, just outside of Square, is where Tor is currently pushing. It's an angle that they didn't have covered because they knew that at least if Pent had died over there, they could have picked it up. So a rogue spawn comes through from Rue. All of the spawns now from the Broncos in towards the back, but it's just for 10 seconds. And as I already pointed out, it's just one little break, and that should win the game. That one break alone, Colin, puts them 16 points within the end.
Enough time to start this upset against the number 9 team in the top 25 of college CoD. 10 seconds left. Player spawning over towards P2. A split spawn from Self is, but Pent on the cutoff. He's making it difficult for you to step foot in here. Aurora backs down. Staircase under control. Wait out for Fonz and see if he can hit this one together. Fonz in the backline. Aurora up front. A team kill onto Pent, but is it going to matter? Rue staying alive. The Broncos are still holding on.
Yep, you just have to do just about everything flawless going forward. Just about every single gunfight. Kill feed needs to be 3 for 1. You fear at the worst. They're doing it so far, but here comes the next break. All going to be flooding from the front. They can very much so win here.
4 seconds left. Ben, slide across. Can he lead the charge? He does. Nobody's going to be able to touch in the Broncos. You take him to Blackheart. A little misdirection from the Spartans. And although we've never seen them in the season play this map, that was one hell of a beating they just gave.
Yeah, call an ambulance, but not for me type moment coming through from San Jose State University. You come in towards this one. The only thing that you have beckoning against your season is that you have the 0-3 loss versus Cal Poly Pomona. But it was on a dead hardpoint, and that set the stage then. This Blackheart hardpoint was anything but what we saw in that best of 5 in those 3 maps. And realistically, like, all season, outside of, like, their mismatches, right? I mean, like, they were absolutely hooping on them. Like, Aurora just was a force to be reckoned with. Flatline from P3 to P5. They didn't even score a single second off of P5 in the first set. To end a Blackheart hardpoint in 2 sets of hardpoints alone is unfathomable. You rarely see that.
That was impressive. I think if there's one thing that I did not expect going into this best of 7, it's that. The fact that they've been hiding that somehow. Is it just known knowledge that Spartans Blue are good at Blackheart and everybody just knew to auto-veto that against this team? I mean, if it was impressive that that's your stature, the fact that Broncos bring it into this conference final thinking, oh yeah, they've never played this. Maybe we can get away with just a free map win. No. The complete opposite. 118 points given up, and Aurora drops 41 kills on you. 4,100 damage. That is as perfect as it gets in terms of doing damage and actually finishing the job at the same exact time. 30 non-traded. He was everything in that game.
He had the second most hill time too, Colin. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
In 24 of his eliminations, just over half of them came from within the objective themselves. The closest one within the lobby would be Rue at 25 and 22 at 13. But even more impressive so is how the assist column was just about so damn close, but the damage discrepancy was just too far gone, man. Like, that is just such an impressive pace being set by Aurora. I mean, Aura maybe of the Aurora part. I don't know. I'm reaching at this point, but these guys absolutely filthy as far as this map one is concerned. The highlights will certainly showcase all of that and a little bit more. Might as well be an Aurora highlight reel once we get down to it. But even more so when you're looking at like the mini map and dispersion and just the overall knowledge. Like, I'm going to be replaying that listening for quite some time because it was so methodical, very patient, like you were talking about. They always knew where they had to be focusing their pressure points, and maybe that just caught Cal Poly Pomona off guard. They probably weren't expecting this just as much as we were, but always playing for those back spawns for 3 and 5. P4 as well. A little pop-off moment as well. These boys absolutely love the moment, man. They deserve it off of that.
I love hearing them get so excited about that. I mean, yeah, well-deserved win on that Blackheart for the way that they played. It was perfection start to finish from the entire squad. Andy, I know you were very, very proud to see somebody blocking those back P3 spawns as well.
Yes, sir.
Post up an AR, don't let them get behind you. And even when they did, the Spartans, they recognized that. They dealt with the threat. And they tactically took it back. 250 to 118. Den Search and Destroy up next. And here's the news flash. This is the one and only map that the Broncos have lost all season. Now, actually, well, hey, we can actually update that stat. It's the second map that they've lost all season long now after that Blackheart hardpoint map number 1. So going into it, with the Spartans now showing a new face in the hardpoint, a win like that, Andy, does that change your perspective going into the search?
Yeah, I think that it certainly does, because now when you're looking at it from the Broncos perspective, right, like you now are seeing what is going to be their first time going into map 2 on a deficit, because like we were saying, the only map that they have lost is that Den Search and Destroy, but obviously that is a map number 2. They still won map 1 going in towards that one, but like this isn't just a deficit of an 0-1 best of 7 for the Western Pacific Conference Championships. Like you got bullied badly by Aurora as far as that Blackheart hardpoint is concerned. Now, obviously, you can't get away with a lot of those antics when it comes down to dead and search and destroy. A lot of people do assume that when one team is better than the other one, sometimes we could just sprint and gun you. I don't think that's going to work at this high of a level when it comes down to the collegiate Call of Duty space, and I'm sure that SJSU are very aware of that, because a good tack or nade will stop any sort of SMG antics that you're probably going to get away with on Den. Plus, flanks that are less common, I guess, because they're a little bit easier to be read, depending on how many numbers you have, obviously. But I think the point right now is that, yes, Den, Search and Destroy, the only map mode combo they lost, it was 3-6 versus Washington State Cougars. No shade to them whatsoever, but it's one of those things that they were probably not expecting to have happen. The Broncos certainly were not expecting to have happen. But now it's SJSU's momentum to truly lose, given that they're going in towards this one with a leg up.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, balls in our court. How far can we take this?
Exactly.
S&D? You look at this from a perspective, too, just how Den plays. This is a map where Spartans are playing with as much momentum as they did in that Blackheart. I mean, just think about the breakups they can have on attack with getting into the A-bomb site, taking over, play for the quick plants. Broncos can really get caught off guard, especially considering that map 1, they were getting gunned in so many rotations. So if the Spartans have that confidence going into a Den S&D, that A site is something that I'd love to see somebody like Aurora just continue to put pressure on from the attacking area. If he can get active, if he can really lead the charge for that side, the Spartans can 100% continue with that win off of Blackheart hardpoint. For the Broncos, you got to figure out how do you shut down a player like Aurora. He had your number the entire map once. So you go into this one, you need somebody to really step up and put a leash on Aurora.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, is trying to count numbers, count names. I mean, if you are the Broncos, like, you best believe you're coming in towards this one with a little bit more of a sweat under your brow, because you need to be checking those corners. The creddy spots may not be where Aurora is located at, but your tack stuns, anybody, if you're playing with a sniper, if you're pushed up, you have to rely on your sniper to watch the flank or to Dashi. Not the most comfortable place to be in with the boomstick, but if there's going to be one player that's going to try to make that play happen, it's definitely going to be Aurora. He was the one getting lost more than anything as far as the Blackheart hardpoint, to your point there, Colin, and I think that it's something that is going to be on the minds of the Broncos going in toward this one. They're on defense first. The offense, I mean, a go for broke plate. You never see this happen. An A plant regardless, but an A plant off rip? Come on now, these guys are nuts.
It's the classic. I had no trophies, nothing to block him from hopping through that window. Self is in the flank, though. See if he can work something fast for the Broncos. He's got to get through Burn. Does he read the close prone? Well, Burn's staying quiet. He hasn't let the gun sing. And no, they don't expect it. So first kill for Burn. Can't find a second. An answer back from Jams. Now he's got to deal with Aurora. 2 versus 2. 21 seconds. Pent holding down the front line, and he's got the regen, too. Stun and nade. That's going to connect. All down to one player only. It was Aurora ripped off by the pistol, and the Broncos. What a retake.
That was planted for him over there by the broken hop. Of course, we saw that infamously from Mercules up all the way into the CDL. It's just a very easy thing to decipher. It's the it's the 2-piece that ends up doing it there in that round, right? If Jams doesn't find that second, and Aurora doesn't have to go completely AWOL back over towards the broken hop, it becomes less readable. And then in a 1v1, maybe he can hit the timing all the way through P1, but hindsight is a hell of a thing, and it's rarely 2020. But still, a really good play just to keep Pauly Pomona on their toes, or their hoofs as it may be. That would be terrifying. I just imagine like a ballerina horse. We'll see what their opening offense has to do. It's over towards B with a lot of presence around mid.
Isn't there like a sport for that? Like a ballerina, like the horse dancing? That's a thing.
Yeah, it's equestrian.
Oh, yeah. I had a feeling. I didn't want to say it and like sound dumb. I thought I.
It's like the infamous, like where like Snoop was saying one was like crip walking with Kevin Hart when they were casting the Olympics.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that too well. Plant down over towards A, and it's a 4 versus 2. Spartans struggling in the search and destroy for the first couple of rounds, and although Root does die, You're still in a great spot for Ern. Doesn't even know he's about to get flanked out. So Pomona, the Broncos, going to put up 2 rounds to kick things off in this den search and destroy. And yeah, for the Spartans, I mean, you talked about it, that search and destroy isn't something to really look at for this Spartan squad. We hoped it would be an improvement, especially after watching that Blackheart with their communication sounding so well, but they're kind of lost right now in the first couple rounds.
Yeah, this is the point in time where you got to start taking a little bit of a deep breath and just start hitting things together, get info off your nades, just don't eat them all willy-nilly, outside of like the early set ones to get an immediate read. But I mean, Cal Poly Pomona Broncos, they just do the most standard play possible. We'll have to see what the Spartans have to offer. Smoke out from Tor. That's going to cause a lot of distress. The nade lands a little bit deep, expecting a player to be inside a tin, but not the second, so loses the one.
The attack, quick hits to see if the pacing is enough. Pent's going to break on through. And numbers advantage for the moment for the Spartans to see if they can hold on. Salvage with the good nade. Oh, it hits its mark, but nice flak jacket to keep you alive. Bomb getting planted. 2 versus 3. And the Broncos, they split.
They're going to set up a little bit of a pinch ski coming through from Dojo. This is relying on Salvas winning the opening duel inside Arch.
He gets the damage. Over Jams on the other side. It's going to take the brunt of it. 1v1. Salvas versus Pent. 23 seconds left, and I think he saw him on the shoulder, so play the time. You got it planted for you. Sub in the hand. Do you read the quick challenge? Oh! That is every single headshot connecting.
Just got zapped. It's going to look like Pence on host right here.
Let's see this again. Hip fire. Oh, 3 hip fire shots. 2 of them to the dome.
Yeah, but Jams almost put him on a milk carton right there. They knew that the last one was like, they had both isolated, right? One player all the way from the mid hop up, and probably the one all the way by Dojo. They probably had that information later on from a shoulder, I reckon, but still, Jams almost knocks them all down there. Would have been a hell of a clip to have, but finally the Spartans get themselves on the board. It's the Broncos' turn for an offense. Tor's going to get back over here with the smoke grenade, see if he can cause any distress as the bomb's moving over by rooftops.
Good timing, though, for Pence. James has no idea. First blood for the Spartans. And bombs leading over towards A. 3 members of the Broncos going to fully head this attack. Only person to stop this one is going to be Fawns. And who buttered up the rooftops? I swear. I've seen too many people fall off those lately.
Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. You know, the roof maintenance over here on Den, with as broken as it is, if there's one thing we're going to do first before we fix it, we're going to butter it up for sure.
Yeah, make sure it's nice and slippery.
I don't think you saw burn, but... Oh, gosh. Oh, Pence also playing the most cruddy of cruddy spots.
How do you read this?
You don't.
You don't
Well, you just hop over him. Hey, how's it going?
Little hopscotch. And Tor to the side nearly doubles up. 3v2. Still numbers for the Spartans. Flank from Aurora is going to spot both members of the Broncos. So complete collapse. 3-prong retake. Fawn's going to open things up. Tor for the trade, but it's a 1 versus 2 with 10 seconds, and he did not know where the challenge is coming from. Spartans tie us up.
That's just a really hard push trying to get over towards A. I appreciate the effort if you are the Broncos. Like, the play is try to get a player over by mid. He chows the player top window, but like you said, there's no way you were expecting Pent to hit through P1 as quick as he was. Whatever angle that was not being held, he was going to be hitting the opposite side and just crossing you up as you thought you were going to win that 1v1. While Tor was causing distress over by B with the smoke and the frag grenade combination, neither of them just land. Nobody from the Spartans ever take the bait because they had Fawns all the way over by the rooftops. He saw both, even without the bomb in hand. That's enough information ever on Den Search.
Trophies out. Here come the Spartans. Nice nade from Tor. He's not able to connect, though, with the kill. Wallbang for a little bit of damage. Still everybody's alive on both ends. 4-on-4. Handshake. Get out of there. Tor for the chase, but in the smoke, it is so hard to connect those shots. Aurora for the first blood. Jams trades it. 3v3, and the Spartans are gone.
Gonna start hightailing over towards A. Good angle coming from Pawns. He got all the way inside of red. So you can expect the quick flank around. Selvis has to make this play happen. 2v3. The bomb's being planted over at A. Selva's gonna hop in towards window. Fonz is lurking around bricks. Sees him a little bit late. Almost loses the gunfight because of it, but it's a 2v2. Retake on.
31 seconds. Pent on the shoulder. He spots the information. Just going to stack up with Burns for the contact. On the outside, Self is actually not going to need to take that first challenge. His teammate does. Almost jumps off the map, but it wouldn't matter. Jams on the retake. Hops the defuse. It is twice now that the Broncos have had such a good clearance of that A site.
It's such a tough call, right? I mean, again, the bomb being planted over at A, you're planning there for the broken hop. If there's one player you definitely cannot lose there in the 2v2, it is going to be Burn. He overextends to be on the shingles here on the rooftop rather than being inside of the fire hallway. But I would have loved to see a little bit more proactivity, right? Albeit you lose your lurk player over by bricks. It's a very tough judgment call to try to hit that route, cause a lot of question marks. I mean, yeah, the timing could be there if they just hop it, but I guarantee you, and take this in your rank play matches, that if you're that player over by rooftops, hitting back around P1, they're never going to expect that flank. Not this early, but it's a one-round lead again for the Broncos.
So the Broncos cut the momentum, take back their lead, and they are going to spearhead this right down the middle. Penn's going to be stuck inside computers. And they clear it too. Self is first blood. Burns gonna turn back around. Not the gun you want in this situation for an M15, but he makes it work. In and out with a kill. 3v3 and Burns is just running away.
Yeah, he's just gone. Bomb's kind of forced to either get out of dodge or they're just gonna brute force it. Good stun coming from Burns. He's getting so much information just off of this position.
I got nowhere to go. You're just trapped here. So you like the execution and the idea, but well, you like the idea, but not the execution, Andy. You get the first kill, and because Burns stays alive, you're stuck. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think the option there was that they thought that somebody was going to be hitting from P3 over by that mid-cut hop, and that's why they were watching it for the entirety of that hold, but after losing the initial player, I mean, you just got to try to make an adjustment. Any sort of hesitation on dead and search and destroy, I mean, just look at the mini-map. Like, if you're trapped P1, think about all the different angles that you could just be attacked from. It's a very scary situation to find yourself in, but the Spartans are hanging on, man. They tie things up in round 7, and they're going to go back towards that round 1 play. It is mid, all mid for the Broncos. They should expect this now.
Torrey's going to be late to the rotation, and he costs it with his life. Self is overwhelmed. James is there, and he's going to salvage something out of nothing. 2v2. That double kill might just breathe some life into this retake at A that they constantly find success on. Good damage coming out from Rue. The teammate's going to be there. Fawn's in the 1 versus 1, and it's not going to work yet again. 3 times we go to A, and all 3 times on the attack, the Spartans lose the round.
Reason why it's one of the hardest to try to convert from, but if this guy's alive on the map, gosh, he was red screen dead to rights. Fonz should have probably been dead off of the damage that he got from both of them, but like the fact that Jams is still able to swing that corner, find the 1 player weak, and then win the next 1v1 on the attempted bomb carrier really does say a lot. 10-4, leading the lobby, finds 3 in that previous round. He almost clutched up 1 way back in round number 4, I believe it was. We keep going tit for tat, and Cal Poly Pomona Broncos, they got that 1-round lead again. It's a B headbutt coming through. Aurora needs to find at least one. He does.
Still alive, though. No help from Burn, but the trade will be there. Versus 2. Penn on the timing. He has just been dominating from this position. Rue. How do you get out of this? I think I know the answers. I don't want to spoil it.
It is death.
It's death.
It's death.
We all knew it.
Didn't want to spoil it though, man.
I didn't.
You're a real comic book fan for that one, Calvin. That's real.
Find out next time.
It's just Aurora getting inside of 10. You always should expect that an SMG should be stationary inside of that, especially if you're just playing a standard rollout defensively. But the one player that he finds more than anything is the bomb carrier.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of forced to replay around that if you are Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. And in doing so, you overextend around 10. Burn, although you said like he didn't find the immediate like gunfight to keep Aurora alive. The trade's good enough. Round number 9 we go, all tied up. It's another headbutt over towards B, but it's the Spartans' turn.
Spartans going to finally put an attacking round on the board. They tried so often and fallen more than they should have. Tor just continues to connect on these wall bangs. Nothing is there. Look at the mini-map, and I think Jams was spotted by Fawns. The communication is going to be there, but all players of Broncos are just going to collapse on this A site or B site together. Aurora still finding this first blood with the smoke out. You can get a little lost now for the Spartans. 2 kills to the 1. Selfish evens it up with a kill over towards A. The Spartans don't have the bomb plant. They do have the B site, but the Broncos will be able to react accordingly.
Yeah, what if they thought that kill on the Fawns, that was actually the bomb carrier? Because they all just kind of swarmed and over-rotated. Selvis with that nade doesn't connect on anything, and now this retake becomes a little bit more trepidatious. Nobody's going to be taking a route. All going to be from Dojo. It's going to lead right into Burn. Selvis isn't a part of this, so Rue's going to rip this first player.
You're still going to read that the most common position for the post plant on B. In the aggression, Pent though, 1 versus 2, 16 seconds. Good headshot, but excellent patience from the Broncos for the bait and switch. Rue's gonna close out. It gets so close to a double kill, but a solid retake yet again from the Broncos.
Yeah, he got 2 headshots on the initial player inside of 10 for Rue. And he just ripped the second. Probably had a real good opportunity to be able to win that for sure. See it from Rue's perspective, just how red his screen was. I miss the days of being able to see the HP. Yeah, he was red screened. I mean, like, if he gets, like, 2 body shots, he misses that initial Jaeger shot, he probably dies there. These boys are shooting, man. I don't know who warmed these boys up or what level the bots were, but I mean, we're looking crispy out here right now. 16 and 14 between Aurora and Pent. On the other side, you still got the 10 and 6 out of Jams. It's the map point here for the Broncos, and they would really love this search and destroy for momentum's sake.
Just the psychos warming up on vet bots.
For real.
Unheard of. 2v4. Burns and Aurora gonna make something out of this with Penn playing through the middle of the map, and Burns gonna double down into the smoke. This is gonna get weird for the Broncos. They got nowhere to go, and the bomb's down to the wide open of B. Rue tagged up. Jam's now down. 6 feet under is the attack, and they get nowhere. A flawless from the Spartans to send us to round 11.
And I think all off those eliminations plus stats to the flawless, like you pointed out, I think maybe the discrepancy of kills alone were already in the favor for the Spartans, but this has been a very defensive-sided den search and destroy for at least the majority of these 10 rounds that we've played so far, and it's cooking up to look exactly the same. So it should, and it is, the defensive side coming through for the Spartans.
Yeah. You
couldn't have asked for a better shake of the situation.
I mean, it's not like we haven't seen attacking rounds. It was 2 in a row for the Broncos to start this S&D and then 2 to answer from the Spartans. So, you know the Broncos can still get it done, but now you're looking at the barrel of a possible 0-2 start to this best of 7 when you're the better team. How can you crawl back? Well, it is sheer force. 2 kills to open up the attack over to B. You got Dojo control and the bomb site and a lot of time to play with.
They're still expecting a hit to come through. They're not even going to try to plant this. So have utility you saw there from Penn. He still has a frag grenade to be cooking with. Fawn's on the other side, unknown. But this is going to get weird. Saw the first. Here comes Fawn's on the opposite side and just absolutely ripped. When in doubt, 4-player bang out. Works 25% of the time. But I don't know, man. I was what?
I give it like a maybe like 37%, you know, like the 4-player bang out. Only because like sometimes you get like a counter and you just have to play 4-4 for the retake, but that was close. A little bit closer than I think Pauly Pomona really wanted this S&D to go, knowing that the Spartans have a real pain point in this game mode, but I mean, the Broncos going into the series knew that Dennis and D was the only map in the regular season that they lost. So it was going to be something to look at for the Spartans. And, you know, thing is, you look at a couple of the early rounds, Andy, even on the A site, Spartans probably should have won a couple of those attacking rounds. But the Broncos in their retake, Like, that was unreal, the amount of time that they were able to retake not just A, but B. It really kept them in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you win 2 for 9 first bloods, I'm pretty sure was the overall spread that we had counted there, but regardless of the matter, man, like, I think it's really interesting just as the conversation, the amount of times that Bomb was playing it for the Spartans. Even over at A, the first round comes to mind. 9th round is the next one that comes to mind for me as well. And you had numbers. You had numbers in both these situations. It comes through from like a Jams multi-kill, and that's why he ends 10 and 7. Selvus is right there with them for a Bash Bros 20 bomb between the two of them. But like, it's just a lot of questions, hands on head moment, because it's like, yo, it's a 3v2, and the one player lurking, he gives up his life, and then before you know it, you're in a 1v1 and you panic, and then you lost. The first blood is so sacred, especially in 4v4 CoD. It really hasn't been since like MW 2019 or even BO4, since like we talked about how little the first blood could even mean, because that numbers advantage is so crucial. That one player can get lost, but even more important than that one player getting lost is playing in a tradable position to another player that needs to be nearby, if not the other two, to quickly overwhelm all the players that are still left over. A lot of damage being shared between Jams, Rue, and Selvus. These guys have been missing everybody over 1,000. Burn sitting at 1,300 damage. He was that B anchor more often than not. We got ourselves a tied series here as far as West Pacific Conference Championships is concerned, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I mean, this has been quite the treat. Tied 1 apiece. You're going to look back at this for sure if you're the Spartans Blue and wonder kind of what went wrong, or at least maybe kick yourself in a couple of the situations that you really had in your favor. First Blood's definitely something to talk about there, Andy. I mean, how often do you see the stat line like that and the team does not win this series? But for Cal Poly Pomona, I mean, this was huge for their side. You get smacked in the side of the head on the Blackheart hardpoint. You go into the S&D, knowing that this is something you can definitely punish the Spartans on. And although it goes to round 11, you're wiping the sweat off your head, knowing that this is an even 1-1 game going into the overload. You go back to the respawns, and you see how can you shut down the Spartans after what they did on that Blackheart.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think just most importantly, like when you're looking back at this, you just cannot afford to be deterred, given the simple fact that Den Overload, we'll talk more about this just in a few moments, like that was one of the map mode, it was actually the conclusion of their best of 5 series, but in a absolute blitzkrieg map number 1, to be a slowed up, very interesting round 11 search and destroy out of the Broncos to win things up. We're guaranteed to see that raid search and destroy, which was the map 2 between these two, going back in between the regular season. Then Overload up next, man, with an exposure hardpoint. These guys are going to stay hot.
Fun thing about Den Overload when I was looking at it, I mean, these two teams, they played it in their best of 3, and it was a win for the Broncos, 4-2 on this map. But when you look at this in record stance for a team like SJSU, they're 6-2 on this map. So that's pretty darn good, Andy, if you ask me. I'm not sure, you know, the timeline in when they played the Broncos in their regular season. You know, that loss could have been early on in the season for all we know, and this could be a completely different team for Den Overload going into the playoffs for the amount of reps now that they have on this game. But I think this is going to be a banger. I don't expect this one to be a 2-4 loss yet again, or 4-2 just in general. This is probably going to be a high-scoring map 3.
These boys definitely have a lot of reps on it, man. I mean, even more recently, like they did lose to their sister team, the Spartans Gold. 5-6 would be their last Den Overload played. 4-3 versus Cal State Long Beach. The Sharks, shout out those guys, have been around for quite some time. But even more so than that, like the Den Overload, I see your vision here, brother. Like reps should equal a lot of VOD, should equal a lot of perfection, and if these lads are scrimming, it should equate to something absolutely bombastic that the Broncos should be fearful of. We're talking about our rotations, we're talking about our knowledge, and then being able to play off of your back foot, wait for those lead blockers, of course, and just score when it's on the favorite side of the map, or even on the non-favorite side of the map as well. We've been seeing teams like Toronto Koi really figure it out all the way up to the CDL. There's no reason why those core fundies that we saw back on that Blackheart hardpoint shouldn't be showcased here.
Let's see if The Spartans can pull off yet another respawn win versus our number 9 in CCL. As the opening break-off is going to favor the Broncos. Device can be picked up or in deep. Won't get anything off the play. In fact, the Device is just going to get scooped up and rotated the other way. And look at the arrows of the Broncos. They're so late to this rotation.
Yeah, they might just not be here in time. Comes down to Rue, finds the first good snap there, ready for the second. So now they're prepared. Penn has to wait. No lead blocker. Selvis just fights for the stun because that apparently is something that doesn't really affect players in this game. Sorry, I'm really angry about that. But still, a good turn of events coming through just from Rue, who still kept the gunny hot. He's up to 6-0.
Oh no. Shot punch from Tor. Selfish looking for the cutoff. He goes down. Player's going to be here to defend. Tor trying to get into a position to assist, and it doesn't even come down to that. 3 dead. A point in for the Broncos. And now you gotta be focused right now to not let this rally go through. Selfish trying to continue to keep the pressure down onto the A portal. Nobody grabs the Device from Broncos because they're still looking at this layout.
So looking for those kills. It's one of the most important parts for you can even try to get that score, let alone the Device carry. You gotta get these eliminations. Tor playing on the outskirts over by Dojo. Only able to find the first. Selva's there for the secondary trade. Pinch inside a Tinge should fully clear a P3 area of the map. But now you go back towards what's most important. Getting those slays. Aurora. He was everything that map number 1. Gonna need a little bit more of that coming through. He's already finding the back spawns.
And tried to hit some fancy footwork. Wallbang from Burn is going to be there. He doesn't know this, but it is technically a free score. 1-1 tie. Burn gets it through. And spawn up over towards the rooftops. There will be players from the Spartans here to meet the Broncos.
I almost hesitated on that one, but shout out to Aurora. I'm sure was probably screaming in the comms like, no, I got them. They haven't hit the couches. They all have to hit over through the back staircase. So over towards rooftops, one of the more difficult of the two to try to convert. When you are in the P2 side of the map, and you're seeing exactly why. Just irons up. You're just trapped inside of these very narrow hallways, if not out by the outskirts. And this is where slaying is the most important. Able to find a favorable kill feed, just waiting for numbers to try to overwhelm.
Player's gonna be here. Fawns on the heady. Good shots with the ARs. Jams the multi-kill monster. Plays his life long enough for Road to be there, but it doesn't grab the Device. And the Spartans will fight back. Nice shots from Burn. He takes down 2. Selfish. Can you stay alive? No, you cannot. 3 dead again. The Device has reset. So you're not in dire need right now for the Spartans to get into their portal, but you still need to find these kills nonetheless. Tor the flank. He's going to open up the route now. 2 dead. Make it 3 dead. Aurora now the only one here to defend this. And Tor's flank should put the second one through.
Yeah, it should. Real should. Jam's gonna slide on through. 2-1 now coming through for the Broncos. I mean, it might have come through a little bit sooner. And this is just something that I've noticed a lot with the CCL teams here, Colin. You'll understand this better than anybody. So sometimes you just have to wait for the Device just to respawn instead of trying to gunning it for an unfavorable position, aka the corner of those rooftops. But still ample time as far as this first half is concerned. Spartans with possession of the Device. Looking to bring this all the way through couches.
Selfish. Oh, nice shots. The pistol's going to connect. Re-wrap this one over to B. And maybe you can beat Rue to the punchline. Rue's going to get caught to the middle of the map. They've noted it. Kill comes through. Nades over the top, and it's your own teammate's nade. Tor there to double down. 3 in the feed, 4 in the feed. Broncos, man. That is one way to dissect that attack. Close spawns though for the Spartans. Now they need to go big. It looks like they will be able to find these kills to slow down.
Oh, Aurora able to lock down 3. 17 and 12 for the kid. Not to be undone by Rue on the opposite side, but here comes the next push. There's still ample time. Penn inside, doesn't get the cross over by stairs, and he loses his life over by lockers. Oh, it's gone even from worse. Jams first one up. Device then re-picked up by Selvis. Looking like an OT deficit closure unless the Spartans can turn this into a score.
You get some close spawns here, so you're going to be on the portal. Fawns, blue to punch his way, still full HP. He can hit the slide. He just needs a little bit of help. 2-2. The Spartans put it through. At a halftime, that is as close as you can ask for what this series is delivering. And the Spartans have been on the brink of capturing that device way too many times. The fact that they end it the way that they do, you're going to be feeling good.
Oh yeah, you absolutely will be feeling good. Tied up here at the half. Probably should be a little bit more of a deficit, if I'm being honest, as far as the way the Broncos were playing a lot of those different moments. But again, hindsight is a hell of a thing, and having Codcaster at your disposal is even better. Let me tell you. But
I love
still,
looking through walls.
isn't that crazy? Like how could these guys not see all of these? Like I don't understand, man.
Because they're not
X-ray.
us.
Oh, true. My bad. We'll have to see what the other side of the device does have to look like. Because keep in mind, you tying up 2-2 in the half and the Spartan starting off the bad side is certainly one thing. But now you're going to have Tor. He's hitting a very quick flank all the way through couches, finds the first, knows that there's a trophy inside of broken window. So now you can just start to collapse on this as the device has yet to been sniffed.
No, Aurora plays all the way through ASMD. And the flank play is going to translate into a potential counterattack in towards BP portal. Jams in the corner. Won't let this get through. Player's going to be here for the Spartans, but will he be able to find the kills in time? 2 versus 1. Burn, man, he had a chance there. The Bronco player picked up the device. It was a pistol versus a sub, but not just yet. Pen's turn. Up and over. Root trades it, but it's 3 down. Jams has to, again, be the one. And so far, he is. Enough time for your teammates to get off spawn. Fawns has no idea what's after him. And it's just Burn now, left alive, last one in to try to hit this one through. Selvas won't let it happen.
Gotta appreciate the head bash moment here, but still play for the Slays. You gotta be pulling up that scoreboard, reading where the spawns are located at. Penn's gonna try to do exactly that, and just not the moment to try to do it, right? Tor there with the pistol takes down a very weak Burn, but then takes down just near half, if not fuller HP out of Fawns. Now the device is in control for the Broncos. And they might just think twice about this. Yeah, they just keep the fight away from rooftops. You got Jams pushed all the way up past lockers looking to play cutoff.
This is the player that you want to have in a position like this after his S&D performance, but a major win from Fawns. Now trying to play off the flank from Aurora. All the way through that half wall is going to be timed right. It will be for a moment. Big win from Pent at the objective. Will stop that device from getting carried. Tor now, he jumps into lockers. And he's going to try to get something going with Jams.
Just waiting for more numbers. Jams, here comes, he gets activated, finds one, but it sets up Tor here inside of lockers, finds his 24th elimination, and the device resets as well. So now you just got to try to turn this into space, if at all possible. You got couch control coming through, Ruse cutting off spawners. This should be a very easy capture coming through for Jams and Co.
They don't know.
Yeah, they're just playing for all the eliminations. That's actually brilliant.
I think for a second they thought that the spawn was going to be rooftop side, the way that they rotated their arrows. And they didn't realize that that was only the first capture of the half, and it's back over towards tin for the spawn. So the Spartans, they're going to be able to battle their way out of their spawn. No spawn trap anymore. Tin control for Pent, or at least outside of tin on the Spartan side. You desperately need to get something of a counterattack going right now. Penn's not going to clear his corner. Couple kills for Aurora, making a full 3 as he's got 4 in a row. Just one more to deal with, and this should be a tie game yet again.
Yeah, that's favorite side advantage right there for sure. For Spree now, getting closer towards an Hellstorm missile, should you even want to use it if you are Aurora. Looking for kill number 30 as far as his namesake is concerned. Now it spawns over by rooftops. Tor playing cutoff over inside of weapons. It should be another capture unless Aurora gets gunned. He got gunned, but Fawn still slides on in for a 1-score lead. The Spartans have trailed the majority of this game, but with 90 seconds remaining in the final half, they have a lead.
I think they've been trailing the entirety of this map number 3. It's the first time because it was back and forth captures back in the first half, and now you get your chance to see if you can bring this one back, and the detonation gets through for Selfis to tie it up yet again. Jams finally having a little bit of help in terms of that objective, and it's back to square one. 1 minute left. Spawn up over towards tin. Fawn sends the sub. See if he can find some spacing towards Dojo. First one's gonna be good. Second one, he rips it, and the device is grabbed. Jams on the chase, but he won't get there in time.
Here comes Aurora sliding on in, gets himself that capture. Tor Jams, they complete the pinch, but just a moment too late. 30 seconds remain. Look at the space from Tor on the map. It's all the way pushed inside of P2. Player number 5, Pence gonna get here just a little bit too late. It's heavily reliant on the players from the front. Jans is also just a little bit too late. He's on a 3 spree, and he's trying to play for his life. There's space over by the rooftops. Here comes Shams for 1. Looking for the 2nd. He's too weak for the 3rd, but it's bought more than enough time, you'd reckon, for his teammates to pick things up off of spawn. 7 seconds remain, and this has OT written all over it.
It does. However, SJSU are going to be in such a good position to stop this, as it's going to be a full rush into P2. And even if they do capture it, Andy, it would go into sudden death overtime. And the Spartans, they don't need that. 5-4. Another respawn to be stolen away from the Broncos in a game mode they have never lost. Today, everything is flipped on its head.
Not only is today a new day, it's a good day to be a San Jose Spartans. Raise your swords up, boys. We got ourselves a series lead after getting 3-0'd by these Broncos in the regular season. You come away with a Herculean second half. Even more impressive was that second capture coming through in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they were able to battle back in fourth, I truly do believe that the Broncos have more spaghetti spilled all over Den Overload more than their opponents of SJSU, but hey, it takes good players to execute on bad errors being made by the enemy team, and the San Jose Spartans were able to do all of that, plus a little bit more. Aurora getting lost on the map. Sounds a lot like Blackheart Hardpoint, if you ask me.
Yes, it does. I mean, you look at this one for the Spartans, you are playing with house money. You know that you should not be fighting against the number 9 team when you yourself are unranked, but power rankings be damned. They are spinning the face of the committee right now. Postseason of college CoD is a different breed in general, and the Spartans, they know that, we know that, and they are delivering right now for this series. Look at it in the stats. Aurora, again, 4,000 damage for his team. Uru did his best in terms of going toe-to-toe, but it seemed like every single time you needed Aurora to hit a timing, to be in a position to defend, he was there. And there were so many times where if it wasn't Aurora, it was Fonz, man. Fonz was making so many saves over at that A portal when you were in the first half. Broncos could not get through those ARs.
No, they could not. I think most importantly is like when you're looking at the ever so slight slaying discrepancy that Cal Poly Pomona Broncos did have over the opposition of SGSU. It's just the more meaningful kills, right? Like it's the space that was being manipulated by Aurora on the opposite side, then picked up by Penn, Fonz, Burn, respectively on the opposite side. I think that Cal Poly Pomona not only were trying to play and manipulate just very inauspicious parts of the map, but they were trying to play the age-old I hold shift square peg round hole game, and it's just like you can try to turn that into something, but you really do have to rely on just absolutely gunning the enemy team. I think that the Spartans were able to showcase they're not going to go down as easily as they did in that round 11 search and destroy, given what happened on that Blackheart hardpoint. And throughout all these different highlights, you'll see a lot of interesting moments during all of the captures, a lot of different multi-kills. But the one thing that it won't show, in my opinion, Colin, was just the amount of times that Aurora was just getting lost on the map. I mean, this guy is a real problem. It's you got to be able to recognize it. You got about like 2 seconds to be able to realize if you see the first 3 players and you miss that 4th player, the chances of him already being behind you and shooting the first 2 bullets is very likely.
Yeah, he's right there every single time. The boogeyman from the Spartans. He's Leonidas himself, you might even believe. This is impressive. And even going into the second half, just look at the slays, look at the amount of positioning. This moment in general, I think, for the Broncos is a huge overstep. That the fact that you wait out, they capture at B, and you just somehow don't remember that that's the first capture of the half. You rotate heavily to the A side, you allow those spawn-ups for Spartans to redefend B, and they get into a position to just reclaim that space off the spawn. Broncos had the spawn trap in the second half, and they handed it back over to the Spartans like it was nothing. And it's just a huge overstep from themselves. Another thing, like I was saying, from the Spartans in map number 2, you're going to look back at this one, if you're the Broncos, you're going to realize that that should have probably been your map win.
Probably, but it's not the universe we live in. I mean, who would have thought going in towards this one that the Broncos might be staring down the barrel of a super duper Neslo of a best of 7 just to be conference championship versus a team that you beat. You haven't lost a single series. You haven't lost but one map of a Dense Search and Destroy rectified in this best of 7. And now you go into an exposure hardpoint where both of these sides of the lobby are tied up throughout the season. Take it as you will, but they both played it twice. They both won it twice. What a hell of a Monday night we got ahead of ourselves, man.
I thought this was going to be an easy one for the Broncos, the way that their season really looked. I'm impressed with the Spartans. I think that this is a team that has really woken up at all the right times. Obviously, I mean, we look at College CoD to be a program for a lot of schools. You walk into CCL, start of the season to the end of the season, you're looking to make improvements, and the Spartans firsthand are showing us that improvements are something of a possibility for a lot of schools that might not have been the greatest in the regular season, but for the postseason, as long as you believe that you can make those changes and work on them, well, just look at the Spartans Blue. They're putting it in display of the heights that you can achieve if you just put the work in. And 2-1 heading into the hard point on exposure. They're feeling good for the respawns. Andy, we got to take a little bit of a break while we let these players step away from the computers for a second. We'll come back with the exposure very shortly.
I go to Conestoga College, and I'm currently studying a business program. I'm in my last semester. I've been playing Call of Duty as long as I can remember, honestly. My first one I can really remember playing was Black Ops 1 with my dad specifically. He was kind of the one who got me interested in it in the first place when I was, I'd say, 11 or 12. And then as I got older in the teens, we'd always play it around Christmas time, just kind of play all the retro CODs. It kind of was my stepping stone into competitive Call of Duty. I would say the first time I realized I had a little bit of talent is when I was playing AW, Advanced Warfare. I had a little group I would be playing kind of game battles, UMGs with when they were still around, and we did pretty well. We were usually on the top of those ladders, so that was kind of the first inkling to me that I thought I might be able to do something competitively. So I've always seen the CCL like from afar. I've been competing in challenges for a long time, since World War II almost, or since Black Ops 4 was my first competitive Call of Duty when I went to challengers events. But I've been seeing College COD grow for a long time. One of the last Toronto XPs that I attended, I believe it was the one last summer, Potsy reached out to me afterwards, our coach Potsy. He expressed that he had some interest in me going to the college. I was kind of on the back tail end of my career at that point, or competitive career, and I thought that it would be a good opportunity to kind of continue it a little bit longer. I have some interest background in kind of starting my own business, which is why I wanted to do the business course in the first place. So the stars kind of aligned for it to happen. I wanted to play competitive COD a little longer, as well as while furthering my personal life, getting a business degree, being able to help me in the future. Honestly, one of the main things I'd say is just make sure it's right for you. I've seen a lot of scenarios where kind of someone has a general interest about college, but once they get started, they kind of, that interest starts to fade away, and they kind of, some people end up wasting their own time with it. So one thing I would say, just be sure about what you're doing. I know life's never certain, but do some research into what you want to do. Like I said, the stars aligned for me. I went to college in the past for a different degree. Didn't exactly work out, kind of life changes. But the stars aligned for me to go to College COD and go to Conestoga. Very grateful to Potsy for the opportunity that he gave me. But again, you want to be sure about what you're doing. You want to be passionate about what you're doing. Even if you're passionate about just COD, you don't want to be going to college for just COD. You want to be setting yourself up for the future. So that's one of the biggest things that I would suggest is just try and be as prepared as you can be. You gotta have a lot of time management skills. Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, one thing for another. Me personally, I can't always scrim when I'd like to, just because life gets in the way. I have a daughter at home, I have a wife and kid, I got a job as well. So it's all about finding the best balance for you. Everyone has different timings that works for them. Everyone works different hours, has different schedules. So it's all about finding the right balance. We have a very flexible team that we can work around. You know, we practice when we can, but we all understand at the end of the day, life comes first, school comes first. You got to make sure you're finding that right balance while also finding the time to practice at the same time. We have 3 new players with Cole, Mintz, and Sweep. 2 of them, it's their first year playing challengers, or I think it's Cole's first year and a half. We have a lot of young talent coming up this year. I'm very proud of what our roster last year was able to do and the progress we made. But the ceiling this year, man, it's pretty different. These guys have a lot of skill. I think we showcased it a little bit at Toronto XP, the most recent one. If you didn't see us there, yeah, we're really excited for this year. We got a lot of hungry talent. We're just looking to showcase our skills. I'm kind of the unk of the roster this year. I mean, I was last year too, but I'm just trying to give these guys, give them the best advice I can, lead them to victory, because they're really talented, man. You're going to see them in challengers this year. You're going to see their names, I promise. Oh, he's been a real pleasure to work with, honestly. I think me and Eric have a really good relationship, starting, back from last year. He's taught me a lot. He's kind of, even at this stage in my time here, he's teaching me a lot about myself competitively as well. And he adds a very good structure. He supports me with the structure that we provide to our team. He has a lot of analytical things that he provides, a lot of stats that, kind of help us break down some of the issues that we need to figure out. He's a great presence, in the locker room, honestly, like, before games, before LANs. He's a great presence to be around, and honestly, I consider him a friend. He's a really great guy. For sure, we're always streaming on Twitch and YouTube. I believe it's Conestoga Esports is the Twitch at. But yeah, we stream all of our NACE matches, all of our CCL matches when we can. Myself, I don't stream as much, but my teammates Cole, Sweep, and Mince, they all stream. So yeah, we're streaming all the time. Like I said, we're always looking to get better. We're looking to showcase this year in CCL, build up on our T25 performance last semester and show why, Conestoga is a force to be reckoned with.
Welcome back, everybody, to the CCL postseason for the conference finals between Cal Poly Pomona and SJSU. Andy, this has been quite the surprise. 2-1 for the Spartans Blue, a team that going into the postseason, yes, I mean, they've made it this far, but history has always said that the Broncos have their numbers. Now, you go into it, obviously, you know, the results have been improved for Spartans Blue, but they're showing that these Broncos don't really deserve that number 9 ranking, and the Spartans are coming for their head.
Yeah, you can only imagine that the Broncos are probably a little teed off, given the fact that of all of what you just said right then and there. But, I mean, look, let's call a spade here. SJSU have been playing absolutely lights out, man. I mean, their fundamentals on top of slaying and the Blackheart hardpoint. They had a lot of winnable moments in that Den Search and Destroy that we could certainly nitpick, but there's one thing that we are very aware of is that Search and Destroy is not their strong suit going in towards this. It's got to be in the respawns, and that's where they've been getting it done. Colin, if they can avoid that Colossus map number 7, they might just be able to seal the deal.
I mean, the respawns have looked good. Search and Destroy, like, you could realistically look at this and say the Spartans could be 3-0 up, 100%. I think you're going to this exposure, you're really feeling like Aurora can do no wrong for your team, and that's going to be great, because exposure as a hardpoint map is another map where the SMG can just take over with the pressure that you get, the amount of angles that you can get lost in, and how cruddy you can be too. And the fact is, I mean, you look at, as the series has gone on, I think the most impressive part is that it's not just the Aurora show. Burns is playing good. Fawns is having his moments. Like, everybody is there to back up Aurora. They're doing their 25%. For the Broncos, I mean, yes, you had Jams and Selvik in the Den Search and Destroy put on the Bash Bros 20-kill game, but you have to see that translate into a hard point, or you have to see it translate into one of these respawns. They've been silent when they moved away from the Search and Destroy, and it's now or never, I feel, for the Broncos.
Now we go into this exposure hardpoint where both these teams have played it twice. They both won it twice, but I think we've already kind of lightly discussed as far as the Western Pacific is concerned. Like, you got Cal Poly University Pomona. They're obviously the top dog, ranked number 9 as far as the top 25 committee, whatever those guys may know. But like San Jose State University are certain coming back and running at them for potentially that second place spot, because the only loss that they have in the regular season that wasn't the forfeit against the GCU Lopes was against this Broncos team, and that was a 3-0, but that feels like forever ago, and it may not be the truth, because we're going to be watching player number 3, Aurora, get lost in the map, but the opening breakoff is pristine for the Broncos.
Fawn's going to be caught there, 30 seconds on the P1, and the Broncos having a lot better of a start than what we saw on the Blackheart. Jams doing what he's been doing all game, slaying out. Good help from the rest of the squad, and it's a combined 5 spree across the board for the Broncos. As we rotate over towards P2, Spartans have been blocked out, and they need to start putting some looks over towards the tank as Penn's still fighting through mid.
Wow. A lot of time being accrued off of P1. You don't really see all this. I mean, when we talk about really good P1s in the opening breakoff, we talk about like maybe 20 seconds at most. That 39, you remember that number you're calling. That might be the difference as far as this game is concerned. But got one player burn. He was holding the rotation over towards New already. Unknown where to look next. At the very least, you do find a couple trades. And P2 is a mix fest, so you continue to do that, and Broncos can maintain the lead.
Well, Broncos right off the start. Selvis nearly had an angle to Pent in the hill, but there's the turnaround. A couple kills now for the Spartans to fire their way forward through Solar. Tor trying to get an angle towards Fawns, but he is struggling at that. Contest is in. 17-second lead for the Broncos, and here they go, trying to break their way back in for the last 15 seconds.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's a necessity, but you also don't want to be giving up the rotation over towards New. Nobody anchoring all of the back over by Jens. 50-yard line has already been caught. Obru is just reading this already, expecting for players to be all the way around the back. He catches bad timing over by Ring, but the confirmation over on the other side of the map is already there, and now the Spartans got a hold from the front.
Here they're in. Contest from Tor. Traded out. 3 dead. Pen has the read that there is going to be a player behind him. Spawns split in the back. So are you going to read this one? This is going to be a burnout of a hill. Fawn to the crossfire, just putting some assistance over towards Pence inside the hill. Good turnaround. It's a double for the Spartans. Aurora's going to find 2 in the hill, and we get ourselves a lead change.
Big moment coming through here for the Spartans. And rectifying those 39 seconds that happened by that P1 to start off this map number 4. And they try to maintain this. Turning 3 into 4 is very, very difficult. Salvis trying to anchor things out on the backside of the solar panel. Aurora searching for him. He's the player that constantly gets lost, Colin. He's on a 5 spree.
See if you can count one player missing. Fonts. That is going to be very upsetting for Selviz. Fortunately enough, Jam is going to be there to trade. So Broncos still putting some pressure towards the back. Spawns will be blocked for the moment. And Spartans holding it from the front. Broncos trying to put themselves a break. It has been quite the swing for the Spartans to take this lead back. He's still got some members surrounding this hill in the back line of those spawns. Burn lines up too. From the sidelines, he helps out Fawns get his way back in. And look how far the Broncos are from this one. It's 100 points now for the Spartans. And they just continue to grow this lead.
A lot of focus from the Spartans just over towards the back. They leave Aurora to die inside the hill. Don't think he actually generated enough hardpoint score to be able to get that Hellstorm missile, but it may not even matter. As potent as it is on exposure, I mean, the 22 and 14 between Burn and Pen, just making sure that Aurora can almost kick his feet up is saying a lot. Colin, those 39 points off of P1 are a non-benefactor. The Broncos are just struggling to play for back spawns continuously. And even when they had it from P3, they couldn't generate score.
Oh, it's the same thing that Blackheart. Fundamentally, the Spartans are just where they need to be every single time. I mean, the fact that these guys weren't ranked is crazy. I mean, this is so lights out. So you come together for the conference finals in the West Pacific. This team has been electric. Going into the second set, Broncos are trying to bring this one back, though. 23 seconds at old. If you get every single second, you're going to be near the 100-point marker. Nobody's inside this hill, and the Spartans are doing a good job of playing through P1 to deny you that high ground and keep you away from the time.
Focus all over towards P4 now. Aurora just cleared all of the P3 side of dirt. Got one player getting lost over by Ring. That's Pen. He is able to find the first 2 unanswered kills again. Make it 3. Look at the sprees on the side of the Spartans. Last one up is Jams. He's going to cross things up over by P1. Finally break the uncontested kill streak between all 4 players of the Spartan. But it didn't last too long, did it, Colin? 143 to about 70 was the score going in towards the second set. The Spartans are just undeniable and respawn.
Uncontested hill time is good time right now for the Spartans. As long as the Broncos aren't on it, they don't care. Time just continuing to dwindle. Finally, the Broncos are going to step on. They win the fight towards Ring. They have no worry behind them right now. Every fight just going on into P3 has been just a battle, and Burn might go down, but there's still presence from the Spartans here to contest this time. 15 seconds for the rotation. Broncos will be there first.
Yeah, they will, but they need space to go forward. Selvis is not a part of this play. He's actually hitting for old. If he can block away both of them, he's going to send them spawning all the way into the backside of P3 dirt side, but he only is able to find one. So anchoring both sides of the solar panels are the Broncos. They're in the hill time first.
See if they can hold on. Hinge coming through from both sides. Tor wins some important gunfights in the middle of the map. He's on 5 in a row, make it number 6. Can he hold on for the rest of it? Tor has to go big, and he has got so much to do right now. Too much. 2 dead. Spartans will break, and all 4 players there to defend. Broncos trying to flip the map.
With 30 seconds left to play over by P2, the Broncos need a break. Let's go in for Cal Poly Pomona listen in to see how they do it.
Weak front soldiers.
Close.
Nice.
Contesting.
One spawn behind. One could spawn behind. One could spawn behind.
Big stacks, back triple box.
One's in you. One's in you.
Big stacks.
30, give me 6, please.
Let's do it. Wait for me.
Corner, he's bottom. spawns.
There's
Oh,
one,
no,
there's one.
You could get one kill. Yeah, one kill. That's my
Okay,
deep.
okay.
You want that?
He's a one shot burn. He's flat. I spawned deep. They could be full clear. They spawned deep.
I want A-bomb, A-bomb, A-bomb. A-bomb, A-bomb, A-bomb. There, you have that.
Oh, back steps too. Back steps. Back steps going fast.
Back steps,
Going fast.
Nitty in front. Nitty in front. Nitty in front.
I'm blocking.
Well, I'm pitching this shit, I'm pitching this shit.
There you go. I like that.
One's back rails, bro. One's going dirt, one's going dirt. Oh, no, one's zig.
No, almost solar. Almost solar. Hop in front. Hop in front.
Up, up, don't.
Yeah, two there. Two are good.
We're good.
A little bit of a moment there for the Broncos trying to bring things back in map number 4, Andy. I mean, the P3 rotation couldn't have been better, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of small talk, a lot of chit-chat between the team, and, you know, a lot of assistance coming through when you need it.
Yeah, even the kindness, like, give me 1 second, please. Like, come on, guys. Everybody take notes.
Pretty please.
Remember your please. But still, even more so than that, I mean, like, the Broncos rectifying a massive deficit that they have found themselves in. They're keeping it within 50, but they got to try to break P4. They struggled with it over towards the first set of hard points. They're struggling with it now. A ring push comes through late from Rue. He gets scouted out, all individualized. The last one up is Tor for the attempt, and now we're down to 20 seconds. 210 to 149.
They've just completely been boxed out of this P4. Pen through the middle of the map. He's just looking for some of the stragglers. Good timing towards Turtle, and the spawns have flipped over to P5 now. And it looks like the Spartans are playing for the long run. 3 dead in the feed. They're going to have the setup over towards this new hill. And for the Broncos, it's a world tour for Tor. Everybody else going to try to fight through the middle of the map.
Gonna have to. Aurora's getting lost. Oh, how does he win that? He didn't have an HP advantage, and he survives with 6. 2-for-2 trade. Going back over towards dirt. The Broncos need to brute force their way forward or just rely on Tor from the pinch. He picks up at least damage, but Aurora finds the kill.
Oh my goodness, Aurora just staying alive. Into the hard point, slides out. Selfish lines up too. But you need to turn this into pressure on the hill. Selfish gonna take the player away from the hard point. Here comes the streak from Rue. Tracking for the player in the back line, and with a double kill, it's going to allow for Tor to jump on into the time. It's only 16 seconds, but you need every drop of it, and here comes Aurora's Hellstorm.
Hellstorm is going to reveal just so much information. Try as you might to die on the hill. They just need 11 seconds. Aurora finds 2. Burn for the 3rd. They can smell blood in the water now, Colin, and that blood is smelling like a map 4 win.
15 seconds is all you need. This has been the best hill for the Broncos. And Rose doing his best to keep the team alive. You look at the minimap and you can see the Spartans taking so many different angles on this protocol to break P1. But the kills just not going their way, losing a lot of fights, and the Broncos doing their best to keep this game going.
Gonna have to try their best. Look at player number 3. He's already getting lost. Selvas is expecting it, but the timing is just awful. He tries to turn to help out his teammates, and Aurora's flank is complete. Flips the map. Can they have more than enough time to win it here?
10 seconds in. Aurora going to be watching the cross. Trophy takes out Pent from the hard point. Jams has a chance. Split kill feed, and it's Fonz to break it. 7 seconds. The Spartans are in. And the Broncos are spawning way too far to get here in time. Match point in the Western Pacific Conference Finals for our unranked SJSU Spartans.
Simply flabbergasted. Probably well more flabbergasted than the Broncos are right now. But still, day-to-day esport, play to win, play to do whatever, man. I'm running out of phrases to even say at this point. The Spartans are just absolutely having their way. 33 and 20 out of Aurora, but he didn't even leave the lobby. Look at Fonz's damage. Are you kidding me? They're getting the optic treatment, man. Any one of these 4 players are about to absolutely fry as far as this series is concerned. They're doing it here, and even the match fold, we got ourselves the single helix. We almost got ourselves the double, but just a little bit too far gone. That lead, that 39-point lead, my bad, gangsters. I was not aware of your exposure hardpoint game, Spartans. I thought that was going to be the difference maker, but still, You just cannot. You cannot really put a pin outside of just how good the fundamental hardpoint really is. They're constantly battling for the back spawns. Those solar panel spawns in the first set led for just only going about 40 for 20 from P3 to P4. And then you go in towards the second set, P3 was just a little bit better for the Broncos, but still the Spartans are always fighting for the favorite side of the map, playing for the power position, playing just for the easiest way to win every single gunfight, so that way it makes Aurora's routes that much more potent. Chef's kiss.
As good as you can ask from the Spartans. And now 3-1 up over the undefeated Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. Can they deliver them their first loss of the season? And looking back through this one, I mean, it started off great for the Broncos. You got like 30 seconds off of P1. Not a lot of teams can really do that. You translate with the P2 rotation. P3 pops though, and this is where the hurt is laid down by the Spartans, and that's the exposure special. P3, P4, P5, that's where teams get so much time, and if you're just not able to break, if you don't win those rotations, which the Broncos pretty much lost majority of those rotations to the big hills, you see the outcome, and it seemed impossible for Cal Poly to keep up.
Oh yeah, man. Absolutely. I mean, it's a pace being set that just feels that it's the height that we expected from the Spartans all season long, but they never matched up for. Final few moments coming through here. The absolute pop-off. They know that they're within striking distance. Colin here winning the exposure hardpoint the way that they did, 250 to 189. But history, it might be doomed to repeat itself here. I'm not too sure what it may end up being, man, but like, look, Raid Search and Destroy was the search that these guys played in the regular season. They lost it 3-6, did the Spartans, but they took them to a round 11 on Den Search and Destroy. Is it going to be any different? I think so, because Raid Search and Destroy, you get from one side of the map to the next in a way quicker time than you ever will on Den. It is an SMG's playground. Flanker tunities to the max. Shotzzy showcased that in Birmingham. Every single time Optic was playing on this map mode combination. I think Aurora's going to feel very comfortable alongside all the Spartans who are shooting right now in this best of 7.
I mean, I've never been more convinced that we need to have a conversation with our committee on what is going on with these rankings.
Yeah, Logan, what we doing, man?
Who slept on this team in the reg season?
Everybody!
Everybody slept on them. But wake up. 3-1? You just look at that too. I mean, it was a close Den overload. You had your chances here to the Broncos to battle against this squad for sure. The hard points have been no question. The Spartans have looked like the better team. The Search and Destroy, think about that Den, Andy, and how many times on the offense Spartans had the numbers, they had the bomb down, they lost the retake. You go into this raid after winning 2 maps in a row, you got full momentum now. This is something where you expect them to translate those first bloods a lot better than what they did on a Den. And considering Raid is a map that these guys probably played while they were in diapers, they know how to play this one. Everybody knows how to play this one.
You better hope so. I mean, unless for some reason you pick up the bomb and you just somehow brain rot challenge the backside of laundry and push inside a jungle. If you know, you know. But like, I think it's one of those things that you're going to be looking at this one to be maybe not as fundamentally executed past just the simplistic fact like get bomb planted, word to Doug, and then just play the post plan effectively. The one thing that the Spartans always came back to lose from a lot, if you remember as far as the roadmap is concerned at the end of that round 11 Den Search and Destroy, is getting those first bloods but converting those numbers advantage into a round win. There were so many first bloods that they ended up losing because the one player that was left over was just never in a tradable position from the rest of the team. You really can't get away with that as far as Raid is concerned. All the post plants need to be a lot more tight-knit from the Spartans. But the Broncos, man, they had a lot of good deep plays coming through from the Den Search and Destroy, especially the last one, the deepest play of it all. Just 4-player bang out something. It works.
I was going to say, when the going gets tough, just 4 hit a sight together.
Yeah, right?
And I think for the Broncos, you know that you can catch a couple of these Spartan players off guard with a play like that. And for Raid in general, you know, you don't have as much of an opportunity, I'd say, to just 4-bang a sight like you do on other maps because of how loose the defense can really play. in a lot of their defensive setups. But at the same time, you want to see that cohesiveness from Cal Poly if you're going to take another map in this best of 7. You go into the attacking rounds, just play it together. Don't get too complicated with it. I think that that's something that a lot of people tend to do when you're down 1-3 in a series, especially a best of 7. You try to overcomplicate and be a hero, but no, this is when you're really tested in how mentally compromised you're not.
Opening play will be offense here for the Broncos. Swim route coming through from Selvis. Gets info onto Pent around the back, but the bomb doesn't get planted immediately, so any sort of late util might upset this.
Selvis, first blood, rips him. Going for 2. Trade out for the Spartans. Aurora gets away. 17 HP, gonna have chance here, and the bomb has yet to go down. Rotations in for the Spartans. Continue to die. The bomb plans. Aurora caught. Somehow lives. Okay, finally gonna die. But the rest of the Spartans are here. 2 versus 2. To try to get this one going. 35 seconds. Rue's going to be playing so close, and it looks like there's some assistance from his teammate in the core. Can he clutch it up? 1 versus 1. Pet just stands on business. What?
God, he ripped him. He was there a second ago. I saw him 196 on the minimap. He was there. Oh my God. Absolutely just eviscerated him. We'll see that one more time, but like, good God. What a retake. In the way that the bomb is being planted, late as it may end up being, it was planted for the opposite side. So any sort of doubt, you lost Tiki control. And if you're trying to retake it from the opposite side, nobody's coming through for money. Very easy reads. See what happens next here. Offense for the Spartans. It's leaning towards ring.
First round for the Spartans. Self is under fire. A lot of damage to deal with. But you can see how the Broncos are going to react to this one. Full hit through mid. Penn's going to get slowed down. Rue trying to do some heavy lifting while the flank comes out for a second out of the Spartans. And SJSU have to battle their way through back. Laundry, catch Rue on the exit. Even things up. Still a minute left.
Yeah, this is the one time where the offense, you do hit all the way through Laundry, but you should look to try to flip the map if try to reflank the flank, because here comes the retake from their side. Oh, they're going to try to plant this for basketball court. Aurora has to do just about everything.
He's reading this one correctly, though. Both players coming down the basketball court. Steps, 1-for-1 trade. The damage and the heading that the Fawns wants nothing to do with. Slide back out in a row. No, it's Jams this time. The hero from Den does it all.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's honestly the only thing that you could possibly have done. One bomb planter. If you are looking at it from Aurora's perspective, like, maybe he finds it first and he tries to get out of dodge, but Aurora ain't that type of cat, man. We've been seeing that all season. That man ready for the second gunfight. He's probably going to take it and probably felt safe to be able to do so as well. A lot of the retakes from Cal Poly Pomona Broncos were majorly coming from pinch retakes over on the Den Search and Destroy, so not a bad attempt of a read, but regardless, we go tit for tat. Here comes the next offensive attempt for Cal Poly, and it's all through mid.
First blood for the Broncos. Jam's going to look to play off of that. Full mid control, but where do you go from here? That's the question. Are you just happy to sit and wait for another mistake? But I think the Spartans know better than that. I'd like to believe they do. But there's your answer. B-site's open. A second kill in the pen.
Of course, so they just able to rip that kill. Just immediately, that opens up the B-bomb site. And now you know where Fawn's located at. Last alive, 1v3 would need the entire ace, and might just have the immediate read here from Tor, playing the right corner. Well, it's left on his screen, but he's playing the correct corner is what I mean. Don't flame me too hard. 2 immediately on the bounce here for the Broncos. And it's realistically all thanks to Tori. That play becomes that much more viable with the other 3 teammates getting lost inside of P5 here in Rocks.
Yeah.
Just because he got that opening gunfight inside of Tiki. Whether it was an overextension or not, we may never know, but in doing so, he finds himself up to 3. Same for Jams. Could potentially be a Hellstorm missile on the horizon. Might just be getting ahead of ourselves here as well. Still plenty of score left to be generated.
A lot of game to be played. 3 bang out to B. Jams. Almost kind of got away with something. The fact that Pent didn't finish off that kill, but Aurora's going to clean up that first blood. And smokes go down, but Broncos will be here.
They give it up. Smoke through open stairs. Don't see anything off the jump. They're going to try to retake this all the way through garage. First line of defense was going to be the bomb carrier, but shout out Burn. Almost feels like he has been playing this since BO2, huh? Playing all the way back in garage there, but just guard the flank.
Yeah, you know how fast these players of Black Ops 7 can get across the map, so you got your flank on cover. You know the post plant has been a little bit of an issue in S&D. So here is your chance to convert. Even us up once again. All 4 players still alive. Broncos going to be taking this one from the spawns of SJSU. Fonz trades out, but it's a 2v2 and the dust settles. Tor up top, but he's lost his wingman. It's all down to you. Pistols out. Tor's going to be caught out. Damage is done. And Aurora's going to take to the skies. Back up top, 17 seconds. The chase for Tor has meant nothing but failure in the round. And the Spartans will tie us up.
Yeah, they're just playing the trade game, playing the numbers, not letting it go too far gone. You get the read on towards the one over by back of the AC. And then you're able to at least recognize, hey, there's also a second player. Luckily enough for you, Fonz, not stair glitching. It was a crouch. You can attest. We got the X-ray shout out, Godcaster. But, like, it's still one of those things that, like, because of that, just going 1-for-1 is always going to be inherently beneficial for the numbers advantages. What I was trying to get at over by the Den Search and Destroy, just always in a tradable position are the Spartans of SJSU. Tie things up into round number 5. Offensive attempt now for the Broncos. Very fast over by Ring. Not wanting to get trapped inside of P5 this time around.
No, not this time. First blood again for the Broncos. Here comes Aurora. Running away. Would have loved to get that kill. Doesn't know there's a second one, and in a blink of an eye, Fonz in a 1v4, turns it into a 1v3 and a 1v2 now, so has an opportunity, quickly snuffed away, and Cal Poly Pomona will answer back after losing an attacking round. They put one on the board, 3-2 we go.
You don't have any nades, stuns, or even blood to be spilled over by Ring. You're just going to lose all of these power positions onto the backside, and I mean, realistically, the only counterplay to that is just to quite literally concede the space and just try to reflip the map. But again, it's BO7, man. This isn't even Cold War. Like, you can get across the year really quickly. Broncos break the tie gap and lead by 1 here. Opening nade will land over by Zig. Doesn't even connect the trophy. They're not even going to be ready for this opening blitz by Ring, but the snipe from Tor finds the first, traded out.
It's good damage from Jams, but there's going to be no follow-up snipe. Oh, misses this time. And Broncos have kind of been pressured out. Tor's going to get active with the pistol in hand. Can he finish off the kill with the bomb carrier? It's Pent down in a bad spot. Aurora has snuck through, but the hunt will trade. Burn in a 1 versus 2. Tor should have salvaged a gun off the ground, so it won't just be a sniper in his hand, but he is reading this flank from Burn perfectly. The timing goes Burn's way, then maybe you have a chance in this 1 versus 1, but Tor's going to shoulder it. He sees you, and Selvas is there to help now.
Got time to maybe isolate these two. Comes a nasty shoulder, re-peeks it with the sniper rifle, even with the optic skin, challenging things with the pistol, then the sniper. Ooh, man. That's devastating. Yeah, he did pick up the Drovic as well. See this quick scope coming through here. Just really well played out. Honestly, whether it was the first time or not, it's the first that I've been able to take note that Tor took out the sniper. Didn't see it at all on Den Search and Destroy outside of maybe 1 round, but regardless, it's that presence of having it nearby, over by Laundry. Finds the opening blood, albeit traded out. You know you have to unearth this man very quickly. The fact that he stays alive, he's up to 11-4 now with a 2-round lead to boot.
Well, Spartans now down by 2. How can they answer back? Losing a lot of these first bloods. This time around, it's been the Tor show, 11-4, 3 in a row. Who's going to get a free plant over towards A, and I don't think Aurora sees this. Now the jig is up. Aurora's been seen and not going to die. 4-4.
Retake is pretty much pending on Bird being able to find value all the way through P5. Yeah, he finds the first over by Rocks. Look at Tor's position. He's all the way back garage. He's playing for some sort of timing to maybe watch the full-on flank, but he's not a part of this defense. It's all coming through red. It comes down to the 1v1 gunfights, and Rue does well, or at least so Jams, I'm sorry. He's the king of the two-piece in the search.
Yeah, I've been mixing that up all game long. Pen noted through mid, and the Broncos do it again. Free plant at A. They convert it, and that is another round on the board. 5-2 up. When the Broncos get pushed up against the ropes, Andy, you can always trust in their surge.
Indeed you can. I mean, when Jams is able to lay things down, finding two pieces inside of Art, it's a very inauspicious setup, in my humblest opinion, there with Tor all the way back garage, guarding the full-on flank over by Zig, that if the Spartans took any sort of time to be able to recognize that and they just overwhelm all the way through ring from the front, any late utility, they probably would have been able to just stick it. But a combined 7 spree, now up to map point for Cal Poly Pomona, the Broncos, looking for their second map win here in the conference champs.
See if they can keep this best of 7 going. Spartans looking for the comeback. Can they rally off 3 and then a 4th in round 11? A lot of teams did get that done. Full laundry control, hesitation on the bomb plan, and they just do not feel comfortable.
They might just try to elect the hit all the way to the back. A plan for laundry, you got that at least in your control. Top ring as well.
Tor. He gets in, the knife.
Are you kidding me?
They don't even watch it. Nobody's covering the bomb carrier. Burn's gonna trade it 3 versus 3, but you've lost control of your spawn. You don't have a chance to plant. You have to rotate through the back. You're just sitting ducks now, and Broncos are picking you apart.
Oh, the information's mutual around the backside as well. This look like a map 5 win, guaranteeing us going in towards the Scar overload. 16 seconds remain, and then we're trying to double on back. Both these players are isolated. You can play for the bomb plant, but got to be expecting for one of these 2 gunfights to happen very quickly.
Rue, you get in their time. Bomb's going to be planted, and Aurora stays alive. Back laundry. Fonz is going to find it. 1 versus 2. Jams now. Can he put it away? The 1 for 1. Fonz goes for the chow. Pistol over the top. He's not going for the reload. He's going for the chase down to end it all. Jams calls game. We're going to 6.
Going to at least 6. It's a 6-2 here, improving at their 3-6 win during the regular season. Mr. Two-Piece finds himself up on a 6 spree here at the end of Jams. Wow. I mean, when in doubt, if it ain't in the respawn, we're getting blitzed by Aurora. You can always count on Tor here with his sniper rifle. As far as the game breakdown is concerned, pretty even for first bloods. I mean, just barely leaning for Cal Poly Pomona, at least in a single round, but the retakes, the advantages with the numbers alone. Tor with the boomstick. That guy was absolutely teed as far as MF5 is concerned.
He only had the sniper out for the 1 round too, so it's just, you catch Spartans lacking, they don't expect it, and aside from that, I think that Search and Destroy for SJSU looks like they do not have their head on their shoulders for a lot of those rounds. A lot of panic in the post plants, not really sure what to do off the break off for the defense. They're giving up a lot of space towards the Broncos, and I just think about that free plant you give up over towards A. You just have no idea where your retake wants to begin, and you're taking challenges, not clearing corners, and playing a little sloppy in the SMDs. So for SJSU, they're showing us that there is a Search and Destroy still very much a weakness. Cal Poly Pomona, they've won both the S&Ds. Can they steal a respawn? Send us to the Game 7. Send us the distance in the conference finals. Tor, he is doing his best, Andy.
3 first bloods, 1,300 damage, 10 non-traded of the 13 that he found. Yeah, I'd say he's doing his best right now, Colin. I mean, like, if you can somehow translate all of this into respawn prowess, we're talking about a map number 7, and I will stand on business, man. Like, I genuinely believe that if the Broncos get into a search, they can hit them with the 3 S&D victory of the best of 7. It's just gotta be a respawn win. And candidly speaking, that Den Overload, probably thinking that maybe they should have this one already wrapped up, but that's not the universe we live in, man. Aurora, he got snubbed as far as his sprinting is concerned, going in towards this one, 6 and 7, but didn't find all the damage in the world. Just some very interesting moments coming through from this search and destroy. It started off with Pent absolutely ripping in the first round, and it ended. You hear the gas in the background too. It ended with Torin Jams putting on a clinic.
Yeah, I still can't believe Penn hit that shot. I mean, he ripped that heady. But Broncos didn't really falter in terms of actually like getting frustrated in a lot of these rounds that they lost. I mean, the immediate bounce back every single time was there. They never gave up 2 rounds back to back. And you had a couple moments where the Spartans had their opportunities for these rounds, but there were big plays from individuals and constant moments where Broncos just stepped up in those tight situations and took over. Jams himself at the end. I mean, this is just recognition. You know he's tagged up. Go to the pistol, chase him down, finish it, and put another win in the column for your squad. And I mean, you know that the job's not done. You can hear that they're not really popping off too much, Andy, because still got to win a respawn to get to that game number 7. And with the Scar Overload coming up next, I mean, the Broncos know exactly what needs to be done. Get those ARs hot, shut down Aurora, and play a little bit more compact on those defenses. Fortunately enough for Scar, I'd say in comparison to Den, I would say Scar is a little harder to get that spawn trap going, a little easier for your players to hold those power positions and not lose those key areas of the map. But for the Spartans, there's one thing I've seen from them, that they do not know when to stop giving pressure.
You could definitely get into a blender if you get like top green control, like say you start on the blue side and you get like that rally going over towards A portal over on the back right stairs. It's like the only spawn trap that does exist over here. I mean, we've been seeing like developmental changes as far as Scar Overload is concerned, so long as it stays in our map pool on how to manipulate like the blue side of the map. But I think it starts and stops with a lot of slays. You go over towards that Den Overload. The 5-4 scoreline does do justice for the Spartans to be able to win there almost in an overtime victory, sure. But like, there was just so many different times where they're trying to head bash the overload device first instead of playing for kills and then space soon afterwards. It can never be the device first. This is not your silver rank games. You cannot get away with that. You gotta try to get some kills and space on the map first before you pick up that device. The term lead blocker is used for a reason as far as overload is concerned.
Yeah.
If you lose your lead blocker, you gotta wait for a secondary. You cannot afford to do that with the device. Although the Jaeger is good, you only got 10 bullets to try to rip a player that's probably at a more effective distance with a Dravic or an M15 in hand. Go figure, that's a pistol versus AR SMG. That's just how that works. But still, you gotta try to rectify that. If you were either of these two teams, if you just want to take an advantage. For Broncos, it's pushing into that Colossus Search and Destroy, which would probably mean a series win and your Western Pacific Conference Championships. On the other side, for the Spartans, if Aurora can continue to get lost and find a lot of good opportunities, you'll probably close it out here.
And that's what the Spartans are looking to get done. Avoid the Search and Destroy by all means. Broncos just need one respawn. And Andy, in a best of 7, do we know what a Neslo is? Is there a Neslo in a best of 7?
I mean, you would have to win all Search and Destroys for sure.
3 S&Ds and like an overload at this point?
Yeah, it'd have to be an objective game mode, which, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, technically speaking, in a best of 7, Broncos get the ultimate Neslo. In a best of 7 format, you win these next 2 maps, but the Spartans looking to avoid that one as we spawn on in. From the coaches going into Birmingham, a lot of the conversation was the better spawn is the green spawn to have. So, can the Broncos kick things off with a heater from the green side of the map?
Yeah, that back shed spawn trap is absolutely brutal. You can spawn all the way in the depths as far as that lower right side of the minimap is concerned. But I would say the most comfortable side, especially for our collegiate athletes, is probably still over towards the blue side, just to be able to get them trapped over by the A portal, top green control. Very easy peasy, but device already being carried. Here comes through for Penta.
Oh my.
Last alive would be Rue, and then next up would be Tor. He had a really good S&D, but Burn's gonna take him down. Doesn't have enough HP nor the space for the score.
Yeah, Tor does enough to allow Jams to get into a position to contest the rest. Will the Spartans get close? No capture just yet. Jams on the staircase. Oh, Pent! 3 dead. Rue's gonna be here. Is it gonna be enough to hold on? It looks like it will be. Burn on the lead blocker. Overload device still yet to get picked up. It actually resets back to the middle of the map. It's a little bit of a saving grace here for the Broncos to have another chance to defend their portal, and it looks like they'll be able to get it done.
Yeah, with the device resetting, that was just about everything. The 5th player, if you will, for the Broncos, just because the Spartans could not retap the device, that they could not score off of that effort that was just perspired for the Spartans. So the device is going to reset a second time. Boat control coming through here for the Broncos. Tor off of that flank will die in tandem, but it's all P1 so far for the Broncos, and Rue's already top blue.
This is kind of what I was saying, is that Scar, it's a little bit harder to get into a position. You need somebody in blue if you're going to be capping for the Broncos, and other way around without that green control. You saw how hard it was for the Spartans to put that device through. Pence is going to take down 2 for the rest of his teammates off spawn over the fences into the defensive wall.
Hello?
And it's not going to go. It's not going to stop it. Who was that? That was Aurora was there. As the Broncos sneak through. First cap in. Don't know how that happened.
All right. Yeah, that is certainly a way of getting the first capture, but device now spawning over by plane. This is probably the most brutal spawn of them all. Just really reliant on finding a lot of eliminations and getting inside a top blue or top green respectively. It was going to be Burn trying to do so. Next up would be Penta. He's on the plane head glitch. Aurora has shop control, and he does at least take down the player inside of P1. Penta needs help over by this plane head glitch, and here comes the cut.
Big win for Selvis. See if he can kick things off for the Broncos yet again. Flank coming out, and together the Broncos decimate the backline. 3 go down. Overload device not going to make any progress forward. The Broncos putting a lot of pressure over towards the boat side of the map. Finally, the Spartans will take care of that. And you have a little bit of space to breathe now. Selvis in the plane wing should be able to take out Pence, and with that, we look towards Rue to just continue to do damage, which you've been doing perfectly.
Rue has so much space here over by the sports spree. Tor, though, trying to find eliminations with a pistol. Ends up doubling down there for Burn. Last alive would be Selvis. Not enough HP to be able to make the last kill happen, but the second score, it already happened just a few moments prior. Now the device spawns over by P2. Much easier to rally behind, but the kills just are not there. Rue's up to 14-7, 11-8 out of Selvis. Just no production whatsoever out of the supporting staff of the Spartans.
Nothing's going to be here, and finally you get the device picked up. Do you read Jams, though? You do not. Stuck inside P2, you just go right past Jams, and with the device in hand, not able to get towards that first cap still, so players stand tall for the Broncos on the defense, and 35 seconds to look for a third capture here. Rue's gonna gather the device, and it looks like they're still figuring out where to take it on the map.
Hey, you could exhaust as much time as you want, too.
Uh-oh.
But Aurora,
there it is.
Yeah, he's got enough time to at least tie things up. Hey, you know what's funny? You go back towards that den overload, Colin. 2 scores were on the map for the Pomona Broncos before we really started seeing the Spartans just start to rally behind it. But you got to first find a lot of good eliminations. Burn has already started to produce all of that. 3 seconds remain, and somebody's got to touch the device to ensue over time. They're not going to get there in time. A 1-2 half. The Broncos up.
Broncos are up. And the question, too, same thing on Den. I mean, you're playing from the better side to start off the overload. Is this enough from the Broncos? Because you think about how many opportunities SJSU had to capture that device at the start of this overload. They didn't get it through because those spawns back green are a little bit more accessible to defend those portals than it is on the other side of the map. So you think that the start of this second half, if the Spartans do what they did last time with this break-off, they could do some damage to the score. This is not a comfortable lead for the Broncos at all.
No, it's really not. And this is where Aurora can really start feasting. I mean, where we're starting to get Rue, like, going on mischievous adventures inside of blue.
Yeah.
You know that's what Aurora's going to be looking for. Penta's going to be at least traded out over by the P3 plane side, just outside of boat. And I like this being showcased out of Burns. Just a little bit of hesitancy just to try to maintain shot control. Hold that 50-yard line because Selvas has gone missing. He's all the way inside of top green. He jumps back out. This has a scored run all over it.
This is what I was talking about. You get somebody towards green and you just look how much pressure Selvas is putting onto these spawns. That's the setup you want if you're Cal Poly Pomona, and it's the setup that brings you back into a comfortable lead for this overload. Nade over the top, though. Kobe is going to keep the device out of Fonz's hands and keep the Spartans at arm's reach.
Bonzo got like head glitch here, top P3. Tor's playing inside of P1. Yeah, he's got so much damage, but just no more life. Gotta start sprinting here, boys. Lead blocker needs to be Penta. Bonds, gotta get him a stun going forward. I think he also stunned his teammate, but it's more than good enough. Gets the capture in, keeps it within one.
Look at Aurora. This is what you wanted to see. Get him towards blue, and that's going to be the difference maker. It's James' turn to see if you can set up into top green and help out your team in gaining that two device capture yet again. Spartans fighting over towards market. Red control as well. Flank from Aurora is going to come in time for the Fawns. No, it doesn't. Aurora dies. It's 3 down on the feed. The Broncos are going to grab this device, and you're looking at James yet again to be that lead blocker sitting underneath green window.
He's just expecting players to go top hotel, UBD right. And that's exactly what the device is going to start pivoting towards. Tor, good shots, has Selvis there for the final blow. Aurora's playing all the way back in the tree line. Selvis, somehow with 17 HP, still gets the capture. Thanks for the help to take down Aurora over on the top left side. But still a 2-score game. So plenty of overload left to be played. Battle from mid-map supremacy. Mid-train car being fought over here for Tor. He's unsure where he was just getting shot from, but it's still kills coming through on their side of the map. But because it's coming through in front green column, still no map control has been gained until right now.
No, every single time that you see the Broncos have a setup in this overload, it is calculated and it is executed so well. Everybody in position, everybody knowing what you need to do to influence the scar. And now look at Jams with the extension. He does the damage. That should be a stop at the goal line. It will be 3 dead again. Aurora nowhere to be seen to assist that device getting into the zone. Broncos, they'll grab it, move it back over towards this plane side. They won't get through the next line of defense. It's 4 dead. See if the Spartans can get something going. Still 2 minutes. Lots of time to play.
Oh, good stun coming through from Jams. You don't know which way to look, though. The score still comes through. Just a moment of hesitancy on which one to go for off the godlike stun. And I didn't think that was going to be happening. Aurora was the first to be traded out over in front side of blue. But they're still able to turn that into a capture from the deep back blue spawns. Big cut being fought over now. Tor, super low, goes 1 for 1. Aurora still can't get lost over by blue. Penta's the only one alive, and he has to buy his life as the device is spawning right underneath his feet.
Doing a good job staying alive. Aurora, deep flank. Here's the strike. Will you be traded? No. Aurora doing the damage. Loses his teammates, though. And eventually the Broncos will slay out. 4 dead. Jams grabs the device. He is racing towards the finish line. And with the stun up, they will stop it. Selvis, though, here to fight. 3 dead. And where is this device going? They're wrapping it all the way around. Rue is not going to be here. This is so late.
Yeah, but they're not going to expect that he's already top green. It's going to be a very delayed pinch. Look at Aurora. Aurora, number 2 in white. He's already trying to cut across the minimap there. Read the flank. 2 for 1 in the feed. Here comes the flank from Aurora. And now if you're Fonz, you just got to pick up the device and trust that Aurora is going to win this next gunfight. He gets real weak. But still, Penta, he pivots back over towards the wrong side. That's where all the spawns were.
26 seconds. Burn. Won't see the player right below him. 3 dead, 4 dead. Penn's gonna be here, but he's tagged up and dropped. 15 seconds. Spartan's got to dig for this one. Fonz, it's his turn. Grabs it, runs through the windows over the top.
No
and it's
way!
in!
4 seconds remain. We're going to overtime. Penta, don't pick up that device, young man. Try to win the gunfights. Selvis is the first one to clean things up. No respawns remaining.
Oh, he gets the respawn, though, at the last second. 4-4. 2 minutes. The Spartans have given themselves a new lease on life, Andy.
This is for the championship. And the difference for the Broncos is to force a Colossus search and destroy. You can hear a pin drop on Scar. There is no map being taken by any of these two teams. Burn is the furthest pushed up, and that's at train cars. That's not even the 25-yard line.
Fonz is just knifing the wall. Nobody wants to make a first move. Because if you make a mistake, you're going to be punched in the air. Now, Andy, if I'm not mistaken, if nobody grabs the device and nobody dies, it's just a draw. If you're holding the device, you win.
Oh! Brew, first to get activated, finds the first, and now you can just stall out. You got a life lead. Just play for the trades, maybe. That sun's gonna connect on Aurora. That's all the info you need.
What?
Draw?
What?
Well, Cop-Op's gonna have to figure this one out. Not too sure. Not too sure about that one, Chief.
Did we disconnect?
Don't know.
If we did, I mean, you could not have DC'd at a worse time. I would say that is. I mean, you could cut the tension with a butter knife. It was so tight in that grand finals. And for Fonz to make that play, Andy, you grab the device last second, you get the capture. There was 4 seconds left on the clock to make a play like that. That is a hero moment for the Spartans to literally have a chance to steal this grand final away before it goes to a game 7. The Broncos played lights out for the entire overload. I just say the entire overload up until that last 4 seconds. Like, that is something that could have haunted the Broncos.
There was literally only one way that we were going to get into overtime there, and Fawn's very aware of it. Desperation sinking in, and he just starts dead sprinting towards the device. I think that if you're the Broncos at that point, you probably assume that you already have it won, but, like, the device was very much so still up. Fonz hits it through satellite of all places, just hops up, and, yeah. That's, okay.
I don't know what to say right now about that. So let's go to the highlights and just look back at kind of what went on, because the Spartans, I mean, starting this one off on the less preferred side, still putting a lot of pressure over towards that B portal again and again. Stopped on countless occasions. I mean, you talked about that den and how many times the Spartans really tried to just bash their way into a portal. I was seeing the exact same thing in the Scar. You just were trying to do device before lead blocker, and Broncos won't let that happen. I mean, Aurora sneaks away that capture before the halftime does ensue. And then you go to the better side, you think, okay, Spartans down by 1, they're going to have an easy go at the second half. No, I mean, Broncos played so good in their system, trying to get top green control, have some easy spawn traps to get that capture over towards the B portal. They were putting on display exactly how you play Scar Overload from the less preferred side. Fonz just says, you know what, I'm just gonna do the most unthinkable thing, just grab it and run.
Oh, so UAV was left on by mistake. I thought that we ended up seeing that. Look,
that was
reading's
fast,
hard.
though.
Reading's hard, okay? And you expect for collegiate athletes to be able to do that, to take the proper amount of testing to, you know, get into college, but that's just me. So rules were wrong. Waiting on Comp Ops to give us the final decision here and the final say, but yeah, very, very tough situation to find yourself in if you are the Broncos, because for all intents and purposes, going in towards that overtime, who honestly knows, like, the way it could have gone? Nobody taking any space. Shout out Fonz, man. That's some gritty behavior coming out of that kid. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so I think that this is a situation for you and Andy, to leave this to the admins. This is a great time to take a break while we figure things out. So we'll let the admins deal with this one. We'll come back with hopefully an update that is satisfying both of these schools. It's a tough situation to find ourselves in, so let's let somebody else deal with this ruling, Andy. We'll be back when we have an update for you guys.
Hey guys, my name is Lucho. I've been in Mar Hills now for 2 years, and I'm in the MBA program, Business Administration. So I was a little kid, and I got my PST. My father started playing all these campaign games. That's when I first got contact, but when I first started playing was when I got the PS4 and I got BO3. Getting really cracked in the pub games, getting Dark Matter, you know, grinding zombies. That's about it. When I started playing World War II, I was pretty much a rookie, right? I wasn't really known the scene. I was just playing with the homies. The thing is, in World War II, I'm pretty sure just Brazil, right? Not Latin. Brazil had some CWL spot for everything. So like Brazil was taking it very seriously. You all started growing, you know. And then at some point in 19, all the league was South America. It was every South American country, but mainly was Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and then started all growing until Vanguard that hit the Latin Challengers. I would say they found us. Our team was very dominant. in the Wenger year. And Max Wood, that probably everyone will know, he contacted me about telling me about all these, what college code was, basically. I was already planning on going to study outside my country, not in the US, but in Europe. So it was like a 2-for-1 opportunity, right? Like he found me in the perfect scenario. And then, of course, I told my teammates, and that time was DJ, Evade, and Aaron, right? Aaron's here with me. Then when DJ and Evade said no, started contacting every top player in LATAM. That's when we found Zuner. Also Trakes, but Trakes was a longer process. Testmates was the first team, like the first team of 4 we had, right, in ONA. Yeah, I would say it's all credit to Max Wood. He found us. So Trey is not only my CoD homie. He started there, but he lives 10 minutes from me in Argentina. Like we hang out a lot. So he's like a friend. He was my teammate. I met him through CoD, but he's my friend at this point. Not only me, I would say everyone in LATAM that played against him, he could tell you like Trakes was going pro if he tried to. So that's why we tried so hard. You don't understand how much it took for us to convince Jamie to bring Nico here. Because we were telling him Nico's gonna go pro, he's gonna go somewhere else, blah blah blah, he's gonna go to St. Clair, Fisher, and he did it really quick, right? Like 6 months here. Not even like a full year competing in any challengers and he's already pro. That made us all very happy. It motivated us a little bit too because last year none of us competed but him and we didn't have a great year. I would say like we could have done way better. We still placed the same as we were expected to, I would say, in CCL, but like we weren't close to the top teams. You know, the other years we were really close to them. So when you go to school, it's sometimes hard to balance your time. Like the guys that are winning in challengers, it's not just because they're just better or they shoot straighter. Those guys put the hours in. For you to be able to compete at the top level, you need to invest a lot of time. So that will require you to administer your time very wisely because you only have 16 hours, 18 hours of your body working, right? So you need to invest a lot of time, of course, on your personal stuff, yourself, and school, and then a lot of time in the game. Like optimize your time in everything. Okay, people that doesn't know, we started the first year, me, Zuner, Aaron, and Desmaze. Maxwell recruited us to go to ONA. The people that follow HCL in MW2 knows all the drama with the school. So of course we looked to transfer after the first year. Basically Marcel's was our Southeast finals. We were the Southeast champions. We beat Marcel in the finals, and I'm pretty sure they had 2 players leave just that semester. They knew us because they played against us, and they had players leaving. We were trying to leave. It was like, oh, just matched. Jamie just contacted me, and then it all happened. At the beginning, I feel like we felt like they didn't recognize us as much. Of course, I'm not expecting as good as the main sports, if that would make sense, because it does, right? Even though the school is Division 2 and we are the only Division 1 team, right? It wasn't that they were prioritizing them, it was like they just didn't care about us at the beginning. So we started talking about it with Jamie. Jamie kind of felt a little bit the same. And from the very first semester, like it went all evolving. We started getting better benefits, being treated differently. Jamie has someone like a higher up from the school that she has helped us a lot. Too. She really takes care of us. Everything we can ask for, we have it. You know, I can't complain about anything from what we get here. We're really comfortable. So shout out to Jamie and Marcel. Trying to go back to where I left. Of course, that when you quit a year, your stock goes down the ground. Everyone thinks I'm only good in S&D, which is fine. I haven't played Respawn in a long time. But yeah, trying to go back to where it was, trying to improve my placements, trying to be the best version of myself for the school especially. That's my main goal. Like I'm competing to be on the top, on the level I need to be for college. I really don't care about going pro itself. Yeah, that will be it.
Hi, my name's Chris Rodell. I go by CWADS. I go to St. Clair College, and I'm studying business and esports administrative. I started playing COD from when I could really remember, just like playing with my dad. Like he would give me like a second controller, probably wasn't even turned on. I was like 3. I originally started off as a sniper. I was really into like FaZe, L7, Red Reserve, all those like sniping teams. And then the way I got into competitive COD was actually one of my friends asked me if I wanted to go to MLG Anaheim one event, and we ended up beating.
We got ourselves an update for you guys on what is going on. You can see at the top of my screen, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but Andy, I feel like you can break this down without skipping a beat, so let's hear it.
Yeah, so map win will end up going to Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. The official scoring being 5-4. Simplistic reeling is that SJSU, they were the owners of the lobby, and thus creating the rules. They did it incorrectly, having the UAV enabled there for the overtime. As unfortunate as it may be, if y'all have ever played Challengers, you watch Challengers. If you end up doing that one and you're the host, you lose the map. So if it was the Broncos that were the hosts of that map number 6, and they ended up having that mishap, we'd be crowning ourselves a conference championship. That's not the world we live in, y'all. We live in the world of a Colossus Search and Destroy, map number 7. Hope that does enough justice. Look, I think that's as fair as a ruling as possible. You can't really justify a full replay here. The only thing you can justify is a Colossus Search and Destroy absolute bang out. I also feel like we were destined to come here.
And as per Commissioner J. Pros, per Section 2BII of the CCL rulebook, due to incorrect game rules being applied, SJSU has forfeited map 6, and we will be going to a map 7. Colossus Search and Destroy for Spartans. Let's hope third time is the charm, Andy, because you look at the map set, and this has been the bane of their existence, with the Broncos looking to do the ultimate Neslo.
Yeah, it's super duper Neslo, man. Very much so. Might be on the cards here. Can't believe we got like the per section 2.B-2, man. Like that's actually insane. I could actually picture like John having like a hard copy of this, like next to his like Infinity Saga.
It's like the Fairly Odd Parents, like the rules.
Yeah, the rules. Yeah.
Just like pops up, and he's like, well, actually.
Oh. That's too funny.
I just need to get
But
John to
it's
dress
real,
up
man.
as like the sergeant or like the general fairy now.
Oh yeah, but he has like he only sounds like Arnold.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Well, we know what he's dressing up as this land on land. That's for sure. Anyway, Colossus Search and Destroy. Look, at the end of the day, it's as fair as it possibly could be. I know that our comp ops, like, we work really, really hard. They work. I don't know why I'm saying we, like I'm a part of the team, little bro, but like they work incredibly hard to make this as fair as possible. It's no shade to them. This is where the world we live in, and we just play in it. You know what I'm saying? Colossus Search and Destroy is going to be a fun one, though. I think that if we pull back from anything, it's Tor going back to that raid Search and Destroy. Sniper prevalence is very real here on Colossus, should you want it, over by the boat side. SMG presence is also there as well. Tor was on an absolute tear as far as that raid search is concerned, primarily with the sniper rifle. He did find 3 first bloods, but I think the point still stands that if Aurora can get lost on any map mode combination, it could spell beneficial for the Spartans.
Look, we said it on the den that there's potential for flanks. Raid 2, there is potential for flanks. If any map, and I mean any map, has a potential for a flank, it's a Colossus. So we got to be looking at Aurora to be that player, be that consistent. Fawns steals away the reg time in the overload, and he kicks off map 7 with a heater of first blood.
How to counteract the sniper. Bring out another sniper or just super, but trades come through and the numbers advantage will be there. The Spartans not skipping a beat after losing there in the Scar overload. A really tough mental bounce back if you think about it, Colin, just to be able to come back in and be able to win the opening map. But for Fonz, having the sniper rifle in hand benefits that first blood. You get the read where the majority of hit is coming from. You just play trades.
Fawn's going to keep it out too. I like that. Just who are the players to step up for the Spartans? Aurora gets 2, Fawns gets 2, Pomona only get to. In that round, fight out over towards the Godheady, and Fawns, what a snap! A secondary nade from Burn as well, so 2 quick kills for the Spartans again. Colossus feeling very good right now for San Jose State University.
Really gotta, again, tip your cap too, as far as the sniper presence is concerned. Find that first blood super quickly, and then what happens soon after? Well, the rest of the team just starts blitzing, baby. We're at 0-4, man. It's exactly what you need to have happen. If you're backed up by the sniper rifle, he wins the opening duel. You feel like that then angle needs to be picked up by another member for the Broncos, who have combined 2 kills through 2 rounds.
Gonna have to step up, though, for the Broncos. Have faced issues like this in the past for Search and Destroy. Can they dig deep this go around? Rue's gonna get tagged away from P1. You've lost all semblance of control through mid.
Fawn's just playing for any sort of picks up once over by B. Tor's expecting for the overextension, but all of the work is over by statue. I wonder how much Chams ended up seeing. Here comes the nade, and Rouge just gets absolutely run over.
Birds for 2. Selvis in the 3 versus 2. Can he find another one? No, he doesn't expect the hit from the rest of the Spartans. Tor 0-2. Can he turn this stat line around? He has no information of the rewrap. He still thinks it's over towards A. Wake up! Because it's a B hit. And the Spartans have flipped things around. Tor has no way into this retake. It's going to have to be the most majestic 1v3 we've seen in this best of 7.
Yeah, Fawn's just over here just throwing shoulders. Gets the information. Tor does rip the first at 100 HP. Double dip. He gets the cross. Saws burn. Fawns with the pistol gets good damage. Tor has a chance now. 14 seconds. And you can just play the time if you are burned. Tor has no information where he's located at. Check at about 8. And just absolutely plays it to a T. The Spartans from San Jose absolutely feasting off of what is Fawn's sniper rifle was not really prevalent as far as the raid was concerned, not to counteract what Tor was doing. But coming in towards this one, 3-player hits over towards statue. The sniper clears all of this open north lane over by B. It's just the easiest pivot.
You have yet to get anything on here. Burn, slow out the gates, but the rest of his team is there, setting up for the defense. See if they can put a 4th in a row. Pence is going to post up at A. Everybody else drawing a line in the sand of their spawn. The Broncos are very hesitant in what to do. You can see Selva is slowly clearing out towards the statue, but he's been noted, and he cannot go down in this position. Spartans are showing a lot of respect.
They sure are. By this A-bomb, you hear a lot of nades just being thrown over towards top center. Selva's thinking about trying to hit over towards this A-bomb, but there's no nades remaining. There's a late stun. I think it barely connects onto the bomb carrier, but it will be planted 4v4.
Selva's first contact. Sneak away with a kill. He's going to get shot in the back. Nobody's watching P1. Aurora going to be traded 3-on-3, and here comes the rest. Fawns not able to get through the players. Good shots from Burns, but he's in the 2 versus 1, and there's not enough health in the world to save him from that crossfire. Finally, the Broncos answer back.
All comes through in a 4v4 retake. I mean, go figure what happens when you have all of your numbers and you force the play to come your side of the map. Any sort of overextension towards top center, towards back yellow, red, snuffed out. Any sort of attempt that could potentially come through over by the statue side, just play good angles. It's a great first round and a half for yourself if you are Cal Poly Pomona. I mean, in layman's terms, it's a much better scoreline than what 4-0 could potentially look like. But here comes a 3-player bang out. Probably waiting for Aurora to play for a timing top center, but it's all statue.
And slow peek out, not able to land any shots, and he loses everybody on his wing. 3 dead, 4 dead clean. The Broncos have life. We got ourselves a game 7. And from 0-3 down, now it's just a 1-round difference, Andy.
Now, you remember on that den search and destroy, we were trading a handful of rounds for each other until we realistically got to this point, and then we started getting good adaptations on both sides of the bomb. Very much so could be on the cards here. I'll have to see what this upcoming defense even looks like for SJSU Spartans, as they gave up a lot of space to allow that fast plant to come through over by AI. I imagine that they're going to fight a little bit more for top center to try to deny it.
I mean, you're just going from playing for those first bloods to playing for bang-outs, and Broncos are going to win those battles. They have said that clear. Penn back in the A play, or we're going to get tagged up through P1. They know that there's some pressure up there, but will they be able to clear it? Rue doesn't win the fight. Trade is there. And here comes Penn. He's going to be trapped. No nades to take him away, but the kill will come through, and it's going to be a 2 versus 3. Still P1 is going to be burned this time. Evens things up and immediately disengages.
I'm going to get collected here. Fonz, he's just holding it, man. Just expecting for the challenge to come through top center. They've lost track of Salvis, but they got the numbers advantage.
Knows he's got a sniper.
What does Salvis do in this situation? He's going to probably try to reflip this all the way around the backside of P2. Which isn't a terrible call. He's got time to realistically do it, but the longer he waits, the longer it takes for Fonz and Burns to understand what exactly is happening. But most importantly, they are stacked together, playing for the trade.
Neither team has any idea of where each other are. Salvis is going to spot out Fonz, though. There's the first kill.
Oh, no.
13 seconds. Salvis is giving himself a chance, and they're going to meet through green. You might think, no. Salvis, try as you might, the timing won't work out, and the Spartans avoiding a tie game. That is a big 1 versus 1.
And see, that realistically, like, that was the one thing that could not happen. I mean, luckily enough for Fonz, like, he has more than enough time to retrain back through bottom center, but, like, man, I was about ready to flip my L-shaped desk over if they lost that 1v2 just off of isolating themselves. Like, that is quite literally the last thing that you could ever let happen.
Would have been a crazy
Got numbers,
desk flip.
trade everything together, chow everything together. It's a 2-round lead here for SJSU. They're splitting the map. Hence, it's got bomb, top center. Here's a lot of nades, saw some footsies. Wants no part of it.
Yep. Just the information. Aurora, bottom green. He should have seen Rue in the corner. Aurora dies. Aurora finds one, but Burn is going to die. And see if he can find his way through green. Just dancing around this information and timing. Looking for any way to punch through the Broncos. Tor, did he see them? Is my question. This time around, he will.
3v3 retake. Very, very different look. Brew. How cranked are those headsets, buddy? Might have heard a little bit of pitter-patter there, bottom center.
They've given up B.
All but entirely. But they might just be playing for Rue to hit this around the back, but they got to time it.
The bomb goes down. Aurora's going to reflank all the way through P2. Any read from Tor? Well, Aurora's going to be noted. And now that flank from Rue is going to be so important to kickstart this retake. Fonz has the sniper. 2-on-2. Gotta get through the boomstick if you want a chance at this round. And Aurora from the other side is going to be read like a book. Broncos hold strong. Keep this one going.
They get their third here. Even with Fonz having the boomstick out real close towards that drag shot. To be able to even up the odds. You saw the flank come through. Albeit damage more than good enough just to dissuade all of the post plant for the offensive team there of Spartans. Just to try to convert any sort of ADS looking the absolutely wrong way. And where the majority of the break was coming from was through the side. Really gotta tip your cap to the way the Broncos just started dismantling that one.
You do.
Kill after kill. 14 and 10 combined between Tor and James. The Fonz with the sniper rifle, albeit a 5 and 6, has been a real problem these first bloods.
It's really just the information that you get onto Aurora for that flank. Tor spots him, doesn't reach it. You just note that, leave it for your teammates, and go forward. Burn, nice nade over the top. Aurora's going to follow this one up. 2 kills in for the Spartans, and it's quickly all down to Tor for the 1 versus 2. Slides into green. What? 1v1. Regen now. No info, but the chase is good, and he sees Fonz. Fonz has no idea. And the dagger for the round to tie us back up. Tor does it all.
Absolute clinical from Tor, where he was going AWOL in the raid search and destroy. With the sniper rifle, I brought up the counterpoint there. It is, in fact, on Colossus. And where we didn't see him running routes on raid, he's certainly making up for it in spades on this Colossus map number 7. 2-round lead, a handful to go. Now we go in round number 9, all tied up, and Tor's on 6 in a row. Give this man the bomb. Want to see a fast plant coming through, or a fast defuse, if anything. He's still alive towards the end of it. He gets a Hellstorm missile. It's not the most influential on Colossus, but it definitely just rings on true. Any information to be automatically gained is good info to have here as far as search and destroy is concerned. But they might just play for it just a little bit too heavy. This bomb's starting to lean over towards Statue. The nade goes a little bit too far deep. Jams doesn't get the information. He's expecting for his shoulder. Fonz is playing it with the sniper.
Fonz just waiting. Smoke goes down. Bomb. Jams looking for the aim assist. And Selvis can't find an angle. First blood's going to go to Penta. And a second one, too. Fonz holding his own. Rue noticed. 4 versus 2. How can the Broncos pull this one back? Rue's going to get spotted all the way by Aurora for this deep flank. And now it's just down to Rue for the 1v4. 26 seconds. Step 1 done. Step 2 is getting into P1, somehow finding yet another kill, but as soon as you go for it and the kill doesn't come through, everybody's going to reposition for the Spartans, and this one just seems so impossible.
Very, very quick numbers. SJSU couldn't get the rules right, but they're getting map 7 absolutely correct, man. Just very, very fast hits. I thought I saw the glint. He might have gotten the perfect timing just to be able to get the swap back over towards the AR. Get towards that timing. It gets a little interesting, but still, just so much distress. They took down Tort, trying to get Egregious over towards the boat side. And all of that setup just comes through from Statue. Just run over the opposition. Conference championship point now here for the Spartans.
Yeah, for the upset. Fonz on 3. Can he call game for the team? What an influential map this has been. And the defense going to be very, very passive on this side. It looks like the Broncos want to drop the rock at A. And with a kill onto Burn, another one on the Aurora, this should be good for them to bring us to 11.
Certainly looking that way. There's going to be a head bash here from Penta. He's still able to at least turn for 1. So 2v3. Bomb being channeled here at A. Ruse timing and angle. He's able to go 1 for 1. It's a 1v2 now. Bomb being planted at A. And Penta has a real good opportunity to try to isolate these 2 kills, but he's taking the very long route. Got to do this quickly. It's going to exhaust way too much time.
1v2. Penta. Shoulders out. They see him, and no, it is not done. Round 11. We are going the distance of a Game 7 for the conference finals here in the West Pacific. Broncos down early from a 1-3 deficit. They've battled their way back, and they still have their chance to remain undefeated in the CCL.
Tor in the search and destroy, man. It's absolutely insane. Triple positive, 12-5. Slang still in the favor for SJSU, so they'll have the defense, Colin. Cal Poly, last time they had this on raid, they just 4-man banged it out. I'm sorry, on Den. This time they're playing a little bit safer. Oh, Tor gets so much info. He saw 2.
If he got a kill there, that could have been heartbreaking. With the repivot for the Spartans on the defense, they're trying to shove a lot of pressure through the middle of the map, even through green. They gotta rotate. They have to defend their side.
Trying to work the plant. Fonz, don't think he has a sniper rifle out. They just might try to get up out of here. What is Penta's time looking like? He keeps on trying to fish around bottom center, but he doesn't want to give up his own flank. That's the scary part here.
The timing for Penta. He gets first blooded. Rose finds a second one. That's Aurora gone. And the Broncos have numbers. Fawn's going to bring this one back. Can you get number 2? You will. P1 control, 2v2. Spartans not out of the running.
Oh, Tor has the expectation. The fight might happen around back blue. Oh, his trigger discipline is everything. There's the first, expects the second. It's Tor 13-5. His teammate there for the trade. And even though it was close, they were never surely out. Cal Poly Pomona, the Broncos. They were undeniable in the regular season, Colin. They get the job done here in conference championships, albeit the Spartans get them guessing. They get put to rest. It took all 7 maps, but damn was it competitive.
Almost every single round of Search and Destroy across the entire series, you'd say. This was a grind. The Broncos undefeated in the CCL still for the Western Pacific, your champions in their conference. That's going to feel good going into the regional playoffs. That is going to be an extra notch on the belt for their school. Glory on their side. For the Spartans, this one's going to sting. So many opportunities, so many chances. You even got to map point first in the Search and Destroy 4 Game 7. It felt like you were making all the necessary adjustments, but man, Tor had different plans. And right beside him was Jams, 10-8, 13-5. First Bloods again favoring the Spartans, but it doesn't matter because the Broncos have the ice. Cal Poly Pomona, a team that truly never gives up in an S&D.
Absolutely insanity. I mean, Vaughn's pulling out the sniper rifle, just completely catching them off guard through the opening few rounds. Answered back instantaneously there from the Broncos. Throughout all these highlights, you'll see a lot of good adaptations. And honestly, Vaughn's, I mean, he was hanging out with the sniper rifle for quite a long time. That shot was absolutely nuts to be able to give them a leg up as far as the second is concerned. Tor got himself a nice little ace key later on, but even beyond that, I think the stats built the beautiful picture that you described there, Colin. Like, this guy was undeniable. And it's not just this one search, but it was also the raid, and it was also the Den map 2. The 2, 5, and 7 absolutely belong to Cal Poly Pomona. The Broncos, like we said, if it goes 7, we like our chances with the boys with the hoofs. And at the end of the day, SJSU Spartans put up one hell of a fight. A much better fight than both you and I had suggested they were ever going to do. Now you got to be on a absolute watch when it comes down to those regional playoffs, because there can only be one. And Cal Poly Pomona know that they can bleed now.
You saw that too. I mean, that's the 1v3 plus the ace in the round for Tor. Rue might not have too much impact when it comes down to the kills, but that one gave his team the chance to pull this one all the way through. Rue through the middle of the map as well. You bring things back in a 2-on-2 and it's Tor. It's always Tor. The way you play this S&D together, the Broncos put it away. And the Spartans are going to have to wait till yet another matchup to get their revenge against their nemesis from the West. Oh, what a Game 7 we got. What a best of 7 we got. A treat between these two. One might think, Andy, the what ifs on the Scar Overload overtime, but the Spartans had their chance in that Colossus, and that is one thing we definitely can say. They had multiple chances across this series. Looking back at this best of 7 will not be fun.
No, it will not be, but a good VOD to be taken away from, specifically in the Search and Destroys. I mean, I think that raid probably, I mean, I don't know what their exposed to Search and Destroy looks like, not on VOD anyway, but clearly more worse than their raid Search and Destroy, at least in their eyes, to get rid of it over the raid Search and Destroy. But I don't know. I think that the VOD is going to speak a lot for these guys here, for the Spartans out of SJSU, but you got a whole week, if that, to be able to sit here and try to decipher and understand like where a lot of these problems did arise from. And you got a lot of time to be elated over the simple fact, like, you rectified a lot of the issues that happened in that regular season. Again, 3-0'd, in the regular season. Map 7 when it mattered most, albeit you lost it, you kept it way more competitive than anything it has ever suggested you would do so. So you got to give your flowers to the Spartans, and now you know that the real season conclusion is on the horizon as far as the regional playoffs are concerned, because you know damn well, Colin, these two teams are going to meet up again.
Yeah, I feel like it's destiny at this point, for sure. And for the Spartans, you're going to be happy that you have a 100% win rate on Blackheart. You handed the Broncos their first hardpoint loss, their first overload loss, and you really pushed them to the edge. The number 9 team in top 25 rankings of CCL. I think the Spartans have turned heads tonight. Just how much of a sleeper team San Jose State truly can be. If we have a chance, I do want to look towards the postseason schedule on what is still to come here for this CCL, because Andy, I mean, yeah, we got more conference finals tomorrow night, the return of Cash as well in the casting desk. So fired up to see Cash and Corn casting together one more time in the season, but we're still in our conference championships. I mean, this is the end of March. Tomorrow at the end of the month is going to be the end of the championships. It reads into the regional playoffs on April the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And then for step 3, our CCL playoffs, the postseason begins. Our road to the LAN finals begins. And for those LAN finals, now you guys still gotta wait to find out. I'm not gonna leak anything.
Colin did, in fact, not get any sort of PayPal payments. Not saying that he leaked it because of it, but nah, y'all got to be a little bit more patient. You'll get all that information soon. But you best believe that from the 17th to the 19th, CCL playoffs are taking place. Regional playoffs all throughout next week. One last chance to be able to see what a handful of our collegiate teams look like in BO7 before we pack our bags and really start thinking about what the next season and Sunrise is going to be looking like, whatever the title may be named, man. It's been one hell of a season so far, but again, there can only be one per region, and there can only be one per championship.
Yes, sir. There can only be one at the end of the road. Just know, guys, we are cooking in the back. That's all you guys got to worry about. We'll see you tomorrow for some more College COD, the wrap-up of the conference championships. There's only one place to tune in, and that's going to be College COD.